Ladies and gentlemen, you are now in tune to Court Battle League's finest, presenting to you Apex Legends, the Champions Legacy Tournament Series. We have a great show for you today with a lot of amazing teams we know and seen before, but there's tons of new teams to get you excited, possibly winning it all and advancing to our majors. There's a lot to talk about and get into about what we have going on, and we are going to dive deep. And we appreciate every single person who's a part of what we got going on in this community. It is just the beginning, and I am your host, Mag Gamer, bringing you nothing but the best from Apex. We've seen world champions compete in our tournaments and not win and get beaten by other teams that were in our community. So this tells you we have some amazing players. If you're a scout looking to get some players to sign to an org, this is the place to be. On top of that, if you're just a viewer who loves Apex and wants to see top tier gameplay as much as possible, you are in the right place. We got all the goods for you tonight, and it's going to be an exciting night for me personally as the host who loves seeing top tier material through these players. It's going to be an incredible time. Let's take a quick look into our schedules and see what is going down right now. We're looking at today's event starting off right now, but next week on Thursday, June 24th, next Thursday, we will have our events continuing throughout the whole year. And what's crazy is next week we have a packed week, 3 days of events. Thursday and Friday we'll have our normal events where you guys get to enter for free in the community. Will join us for this. Then on the 26th of June, we have a special organizer who's looking to come up in the Apex community and make their name known. We've been supporting them, so we're gonna work with them to create an event for the community also. It's top tier material. It's gonna be a really fun ride going from there. If you're wondering how do I enter and get involved in these events and all of these things, let me go ahead and showcase it for a second. This is the roadmap. This is how you get into these matches. Pretty simple. Come over to our Discord, read up on the information. If there's an event you can make on Thursday or Friday or Saturday, whenever we have them, you sign your team up or look for a team in our free agent channel. Then you submit your team and we will get in contact with you to make sure you're ready to go for these events. And it's free for everybody to enter these community events. What's great about this is a tournament series, so the community is getting the chance to get involved and advance into the majors, where it's only the top teams that will be able to compete. Now everybody in the majors are competing to get into the championship, win prizes, you know, bragging rights and so much more, but we'll get into that a little later. Today is specifically Community Day. And if you're wondering what is Community Day, how does it all work, what does it look like, pretty slick little setup here. Respawn has a format that is called Match Point. And pretty much every team is trying to score 50 points. And they do that through placement points, as you can see here. First place will get 12 and etc, etc. Also, elimination points. You're going to get 1 point for the first round, 2 points for the second, 3 points for the third, and so on and so on. Once we get to game 5, you have 5 points per kill, which can get you up to 50 pretty fast if you have a great game from then. Sometimes these events will end early. Like yesterday, we had our champion in game 4. Sometimes they go to game 5, maybe game 6 if we're lucky. You're looking at a 3-hour window or less if everybody's on point and ready to go for this event. It's gonna be a really fun time. I'm extra excited, and we're actually about to get started very soon and enjoy this journey that we are in for this game. We wish everybody luck. We thank you so much. And before we get started, I want to take a moment to kind of just talk about things directly to the community. We are going to be adding a lot of new features to our Discord, to our live events. Your tweets are going to be presented. Your comments will be interactive in between matches. A lot of things are going to be happening in the near future to kind of keep the community engaged, bring you guys, because you guys are what matter the most. This is what it's all about, the players and the community coming together. Support your favorite team, support your favorite player, and be a part of everything we got going on. So stick around and enjoy as we go forward. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is happening right now. We are starting off with with the map Olympus, and we're gonna get all the players a chance to try to compete to win it all. It's not easy because you have to score 50. After you score 50, the very next game, you have to try and win it all, be number one overall, and that way you can win today's tournament. It's gonna be interesting, it's gonna be fun. And speaking of fun, I am honored and lucky enough to have myself a co-host. As you know, I usually do this solo, but when someone volunteers to help, I don't say no. And we have a great co-host who's, I believe, is their first time. We're gonna have a good talk with them about tonight's games and talk about everything that we're gonna see overall. Just a quick intro to IMB Rad. What's going on, buddy? How you doing today?
Good. How about you, Mag?
I am
Excited
well.
for the game.
Yeah, I'm excited also, man. So let's get this rocking. We're gonna go ahead and showcase the gameplay and see who has what it takes to be the best in Apex Legends. It's a crazy game when it comes to surviving all of these teams. You're playing against 20 teams, 19 other teams, over 50 players against you, and it's gonna be interesting. Let's check out the drop as we go forward. What I like to do is get a little overview and see where everybody's dropping. We can look at the map and see from there. And Rad, if you want to talk to me about what you see here on Olympus, some of the best drops for me personally on the outskirts, places like Dock, places like Hydro, and Optical. What is your favorite drop spot here?
One of my, actually a few of my favorite spots are, like you said, Docks. Power Grid is one that I like to go to. Bonsai is kind of a fun one to fight at early on. If you win Bonsai, usually for the first couple games, no teams try to contest you there, so you get a pretty free loot range of 2 buildings.
Yeah, so speaking of free loot, we're about to see some action as 2 teams are bumping heads in the Optical area, and it looks like one of them actually backed off, which is the smart move. You don't always want to push in and start a fight right off that when you know you need to gear up. So they stepped out of that situation, and it's looking pretty good for their current position. And we're looking at Team King right now as they loot up. And for me, what I want to see in these events and going forward as a player who thinks of rotations as the most pivotal point in Battle Royale, my biggest thing is being able to position yourself properly to win the game. That is what's most important to me, Rad.
Yeah, it definitely is a big portion of the game. You gotta have the right positioning, the right rotations, make sure that you have all the information that you can get, that you can have. And I've actually been seeing a lot of players now taking Valkyrie as a recon character, so they can reach any of the beacons to scan for the next raid, get that information, maybe catch an early rotation there, and maybe catch a few teams in between there, Meg.
Yeah, talking about that, we're looking at the action right now. OSGB trying to survive this situation. It's not the best at the moment, but they do have all their players up, and we're going to see if they have what it takes to win this fight. It is not easy, and I love where they're at right now. One of my favorite places, but it always seems to have some type of trouble on drops. The Rift looking real good, and right now they did push back the team. DSGB doing pretty good on pushing back. Team Sin, 7 Sins here, just trying to get away from the situation, and great job by them so far to take out one of their players. But oh no, ladies and gentlemen, we got UMP in the background looking to third party the situation. That's what I want to see from them when it comes to playing Apex at its finest. Battle Royale isn't a one-on-one. The reason it's so good is because you have to survive multiple teams. It's very difficult, and UMP was gonna push, but as you saw, they stepped off and they didn't want that trouble. And DSG Sin comfortably already putting out some damage. Red.
Yeah, and with going back to the DSGB, they've definitely put in a lot of damage. Already dropped in for 3 kills on 7 Sins, wiping them out and taking them off the board right away. UMP did look to want to push. They took a few shots, decided against it, and then I don't know if you had seen, but UMP had actually used the Gibby bubble on their Bloodhound while they scanned the beacon to keep them protected, which is a nice, wonderful thing about the Gibby bubble, is that you can't shoot in or out of it, and it's such a great utility to hit those beacons safely. You know you can't get sniped. You know that there's no other teams that are going to be able to shoot through that. So it was real good use of the bubble there for the beacon.
100% there. Definitely just something about Gibby that is, his utility is so high, and he's overused in these games, but it's for good reason. His bubble can do a lot. Revive teammates, help you push or get away from a fight, help you survive, you know, aerial strikes or any type of situation. And that is what makes it so incredible. And we just saw the Valkyrie ult, to me one of the best in the game right now. Talking about ultimates, if we're gonna compare Gibby Valkyrie's ultimate to everybody else's, she can be defensive, offensive, help you rotate, just help you scan. Sometimes you can pop it just to look around you and drop right back down to where your teammates are. Something I do a lot of because I played a lot of Valk the first 2 weeks that she was released. Overextended on using her ultimate sometimes just to scan on the last ring. We wanted to see where every player was on the map. As long as they're outside visible, it's a useful tool to try and get, you know, some scouting done. And just to make an argument for everybody watching on the chat, I always say the scout class is the best class in the game. The attackers are very powerful, but defenders and support are low. So it's either you're an attacker or a scout when it comes to best overall setup. And it looks like UMP is getting hit by DSGB. Well, we're gonna call them DS from now on. And these guys are actually playing aggressive, and we saw UMP really great stuff yesterday, just a day ago, 24 hours ago, and right now they're going down very fast there. One player down, and the reason why they're running is they all have white shields. They're not ready for the fight compared to these guys over here who are doing really good. And on top of this, we got Humble in here looking for some action also. I like what I'm seeing by these guys. These guys were incredible yesterday, and man, oh man, it is looking like everybody is trying to escape this situation. It's a third wheel situation here. Good stuff by Team Humble, pushing teams back here, and they're actually trying to suppress DS, and that is really good. And we got a lot of teams in the Rift area, as you see. Dio, Team Dio, let's call him Dad, Team Dad, or Dio. We're gonna call him Dio. Team Dio also in the fight with Peach Rings. So a lot of stuff going on everywhere, and that's what you want to see. But right now the main fight is UMP down 2 players and multiple teams in their vicinity. This is the best you can have. Team Max only 2 players up, and UMP just trying to stay alive and survive this situation.
Yeah, they really are trying just to find the cover, get in the buildings, heal up, because they are at a shield disadvantage compared to everyone else around them in the lobby. Everyone else has the colored shields, whether it be blue or purple or anything better than that. White is just one of those armors that is so easy to break through, and you're only going to be able to absorb 150 damage before you're just knocked on the ground. And with UMP, they had rotated through the Rift portal, and there was a Team Max, I believe, was just sitting on the other side waiting for them to push
Exactly.
through
I was
that.
scouting them out, seeing what the situation was, and they're doing the right thing. That right there is the way you want to play in these games. It's very difficult to take on multiple teams and win the games in that way. So if you have a team pushing you during your fight, it's going to cost you big time. Now let's take a look at Team Raven here, as this team has been very certified with us, always attending and being professional as possible. And that's what you want from teams when we're setting up these events for the community. Anybody's welcome, but the better organized and managed teams always outshine the rest because they're on time and they're always consistent. They're going to score a lot of points and keep going there. So we love Team Raven as far as so far being as professional as possible, and we are showcasing different teams every week. This week we showcased the Annuals, and we'll bring that up a little later. But man, Raven also one of those teams that are consistent throughout these tournaments. Really good stuff so far.
Indeed, and Mac, I do want to take a moment to go back to DS because they were just in a fight with Team Humble, and Humble had actually got the ability to knock 2 of DS's players. One of them completely finished, waiting for the banner recovery now, but the Octane God was able to hit the jump pad back to his teammate who was on the height, watching down, safely res, and now it's a standoff between Team Humble and DS. But it looks like Team Humble's just gonna back away while Team Raven is now moving into the Rift area.
So that's what I've been looking at, going back and forth between these two teams. DS right now sitting comfortable, but they got to get out of this situation. Again, this Rift has been non-stop action for us throughout this match, and only 10 teams left, and it's not the best position to be in. If you know what is going on, you want to step away and just be humble, unlike the team Be Humble. Not just to be humble, but actually be humble in real life, because there's multiple teams in this area. It's not a good look for you, and you want to back away if possible, or make a stronghold and just put fear in the heart of these players at all times. And it's one of those great things you can see from some of these teams. They're willing to take the fight and win it all, but a lot of times, sometimes you want to be very careful with that. Anything could happen, and we're gonna see a collision course.
We're getting ready to see a collision course. As Team Raven is taking shots outside on Team Humble, but Team Humble is trying also to get into the fight on the back end of Power Grid, where there's 4 other teams just fighting for the area, fighting for buildings, getting the high ground.
Yep, and as we say that, we see Diaz also taking down another player from Humble, and Humble's really in the thick of it with multiple teams in the area. And man, we got fights everywhere. Look at Maniacs putting in some work right now, taking down a player, doing really good. The team captain Spaghetti is over here trying to make a move, and he's doing the right thing, picking up his teammate while his partner is actually in the middle of the fight also. So good stuff by Team Maniac. They take down one of the players from Max, and we're gonna step back into Team Humble and what they got going on as they get attacked by Team UKSA. And man, it's non-stop chasing Humble. I think this is a takedown Humble. I'm not sure if everybody remembers last night. Humble was one of the top teams during our tournament, so who knows how good these guys could be in finishing this off. Insane.
It is indeed, and now with all these teams, it looks like that Team TL has actually set up on the outside of next zone, getting ready to do a Valk ult to scan for any enemies once this ring starts to move in. And it's a launch. Here we go. We're going to see the Valcall in action now. You see all these scans popping up. They're getting all that information, planning their next rotation, how they want to use it, as they're getting shots behind other teams in the area from the air trying to take them down. It's not going to work. They're going to safely rotate over to the building outside of docks.
Yep, and talking about safely, now you're in the ring and you're actually in the fight. This is going to be where it all goes down. It's going to be a good battle for this last section. A very awkward ring, to say the least. If you take a quick look, we're looking at legitimately an insane half of the ring is not available for this next situation. So it's pretty insane, to say the least, of what we're about to get when it comes to action. So be ready for an all-out madness between these teams. Half of the ring is on the outskirts. There's nowhere to walk to. So it's going to be interesting. This is the first time I've seen a ring close right there at that outer area of the map. And as we speak, DS looking to try to put up a fight here. One player still has a white shield after all this time. We're in the third ring. And man, just to get your shield up to blue, you just want to pop a couple shots, 150 damage, and you'll be fine. Team Humble down a player completely, and now they're just trying to survive the situation, hopefully score something. Don't know if they can. I like where DS is doing. They're being aggressive. They want to push this and take the fight, and they're about to right now with a Mozambique, baby. Can they do it? Nothing there. Good stuff. Takedown. And it looks like DS is in trouble a bit here. They also down a player. They're about to be down 2 players. Oh my goodness. Team Humble showing why they are one of the best teams from last night. 2 men, and they still found a way to take this fight. And as you see right here, looking really good for Team Humble.
Yeah, they all they have is this Bangalore from DS, and who's on 10 HP, maybe less, and is now out. DS is now out of the fight. Team Humble wins that God spot on that section of the map. This is where it's all gonna come down to. It Green's more likely gonna pull either that ramp right next to them or right to them, where all these next teams are gonna have to rotate. Now there's teams fighting on the outskirts. You can hear that from Humble's side. They know which side they're fighting on. They know where they're gonna have to watch. With 7 teams still in this game, including Team Humble, now down to 6. As this range just gets smaller and smaller, it's gonna get more and more clustered. More and more teams are gonna fight it, and we're gonna see a lot more action in these later rings.
Yeah, these later rings are definitely gonna be insane. What you're looking at right now is everybody healing up, preparing for this next situation where it's gonna get crazy. As we can see right now, Team Dad is trying to get in there, and they're gonna make a push, and it looks like there's another team right behind them. So this is gonna be a cluster of action, and see what's going on. Team Keem versus Dad. A lot of madness in this situation right here, and this is gonna tell us who's the big boys here, who can really take over and win this game, because the ring is closing, and man, it's gonna be a tight one right at the finish in this situation. Like what I'm seeing by most teams, they're being passive, holding off, and trying to slowly pick off damage and take teams down. Now they notice there's multiple teams, and we're seeing them beaming right now, trying to stay alive as the only player on his team. Team Dad taking another player down. Looking really good so far. Amazing shots here. We've never... Oh, buddy. And they get taken down as I say so. Really good stuff. The Maniacs are probably in the best position. They all have purple shields, 3 players up. And right now they're going against Team UK. And they're trying to finish them off. Looking really good. 1 player down. And they are trying to gear up actually, and get some red shields, which is really going to change the game when it comes to survivability. That red shield might not seem like a lot, but it does help drastically. Rotating, Team Maniac pushing in, trying to find their angles. Team Humble coming in on the fight. It's getting real. Everybody's here, baby. Everybody's here. And it's going down right now. Team Humble getting destroyed there. Maniacs trying to finish this off here, taking out a rat. Looking really good for them. 1 last player from Team Humble. He's trying to vault out of the situation. Oh my goodness. Talk about insane. The ring is closing on everybody, and it's just all out brawls everywhere you go.
Team Kings now sitting on that god spot that Team Humble had. They gave it up, and Kings rotated freely on that. Now, reminder that the care package that came down, Team Humble had got it. There's a Kraber in play now, and I believe Kings has it on god spot.
Yes, yes. And then we got Team Humble with only one player. We have Kings with 2 players, and they're getting hit. They actually got one player taken down by Humble, doing really good for himself here to try to win this all. If he can take out Kings here, then he's gonna have a handful fight when it comes to the Maniacs, who smell blood in the water and are pushing this to finish the game. They are about to close this out for us, ladies and gentlemen. First game going to the Team Maniac, where they only have one player. If any which way somehow this player wins all these guys, I will shave my beard, because I'm not shaving my eyebrows. Look at this.
Oh, it doesn't look like you're gonna have to shave that beard as he gets knocked, with the Bloodhound coming back into play now.
This is it. One last player. Maniac doing a good job. They're gonna hold it down.
And there, you can save the beard because Minty Maniacs takes the first game.
Minty Maniacs! Incredible stuff. This player came to my stream and asked if he can join a tournament. I sent him the Discord link about a week or 2 ago, and somehow, some way, his team wins the first game. I don't want to call it luck, but the way they positioned themselves was so critical and so important to what exactly we saw from them. Overall was a really great job. Amazing stuff by the Minty Maniacs. I'm not sure what the thinking goes on in that name, but I'm down with a mink, but I'm not down with a maniac. How about you, Red?
Darren says
I'm not sure about that. I'm not a big fan of mints, and I don't really know many maniacs, so I don't really get down with either.
So what did you see? For me personally, again, if we paid attention to what they did specifically, they had a position early on, right before the big fight started happening. They all had purple shields. Sometimes you don't need to go loot for shields. You can just pick off shots. Anytime you see somebody, hit them with a couple shots. You're going to upgrade your shield. They all had purples. We see teams at the end there, like Team Humble, one of their players were in the last fight with a white still, and right before, you know, the last fights, they started upgrading, and that's not a good call. That's my personal opinion on what happened there. Team Humble probably could have won it if they took the time to just level up their shields. Even if you can't kill the person, get a couple shots in and go forward. That's just my opinion. Before we go forward and show you guys the leaderboards, we want to remind everybody, you are welcome to join us on our events. This is the schedule. Today's event is closed only for the players and teams that are here now. The rest of the week, next week, from the 24th, 25th, and 26th, you are spoiled with events non-stop. We're going to have an amazing one on the Saturday of next week on the 26th, where we have Blowback Lady, an organizer who deserves some recognition, putting in a lot of work and finally getting their private servers through us. We're going to support them and help them during there and organize it with them so they can showcase you guys something really great and fun. So if you want to get involved, feel free, hit up our Discord and let's make this happen. It's going to be a really good time. Just to break it all down, why are we doing this? What is these tournaments about? So these are community events for the moment. Only people who actually want to compete and have some fun are welcome. So basically, if you don't want to have fun, don't come here. Only people that want to enjoy themselves are welcome to come every week and be a part of this. Once you win a tournament, you are automatically advancing to the majors. The majors are specifically only for the champions. I mean, the top teams who want to make it into the championship. From there, they can compete for prizes and more once we announce it during the majors. That being said, for now, it's your chance to enjoy and have a good time. We're about to go to the leaderboards in a second, but I want to remind you guys how this whole setup and format is placed. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. It's not too complicated. Basically, we're playing an amazing format that Respawn actually created and they use for some of their events. It is called Match Point, and Match Point pretty basic. You're trying to get to 50, so you're doing everything you can, whether it's placement points or if it's kill points. You're going to score every round. As you can see here, it tells you 12 points for first place, and then for kills it's 1 point for the first game, 2 points for the second game, 3 points for the third. So we just saw the first game, every point was 1 point, and now we're moving on to the second game in a second, and we're so excited. And we believe the actual scores are updated, and we're gonna take a look right now so you guys can see exactly what we have going on. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Somehow Team Humble still didn't win but scored 20 points. Is this correct? We need to talk to our queen of our Apex scoreboard leaders. Man, oh man, that is insane. It's the first time I see a team who didn't win at number one. And Team Humble with 20 points to start off. The Maniacs, who did win, they didn't fight a lot, I guess. Unlike Humble took out a lot of teams. They scored a lot of points. But man, Minty Maniacs truly showcasing that they got what it takes, and they're making 17 points. I'm surprised. Again, it was just a viewer who asked if they can join, and lucky enough, they made it in, and now they are on the leaderboards, folks. And right under them, third place, it looks like UKSA, a new team that we have not known about or heard about. So this is fun to have new players joining and being a part of our movement and getting involved with what we got going on. So far, so good. I'm gonna ask Rad here, what does he think? Which teams is he looking out for? If you had a team or two that you wanted to point out when you're looking at these leaderboards and looking at the way the game played out, who do you got?
Honestly, I'm looking. I mean, obviously, we gotta look at Team Humble. They played very well. They got enough kills to put them up above Minty, whether or not they won, which is always a good thing because in that. However, they're only 3 points ahead, and with game 2, every kill is 2 points. They really have to slay out and win to make that leap higher and higher and higher, just to keep the teams underneath them separated, make sure that they get to match point first. It's going to be an exciting day with Humble. I'm watching Minty Maniacs, I'm watching Keens, I've been watching Raven as well,
Right.
because we've seen Raven before in these tournaments,
Yeah.
and they've played very well.
Yep.
Now with a lot of the other teams that everyone's played against in the past already being qualified for the majors, what does it mean for Team Raven now? Does that give them a big shot to come and compete against Minty and Humble and Keens and all these other ones that are above them on the leaderboard? Or is it going to be the same way that they've been doing?
It changes drastically, and one of the rules that I made, guys, for everybody watching, that makes this interesting is that placement is very important. You can't win this tournament without placement, but if you want to get to 50, we have a system that's going to give you the chance. So teams that probably placed good and didn't score any kill points on this round, or the opposite, teams that got a lot of kills but didn't get placement, they still can be viable here because you're going to be able to get more points consistently as you go forward. It's going to be a very, very interesting next game. We are gearing up right now with the teams in the lobby as they place their names and do different things to get the ball rolling. We're going to be playing in one of my favorites, the classic Keens Canyon. And just a little word of advice, I would like to see everybody drop no, I'm just playing, a map room and rigs is my favorite place. I think it's the smartest place to go. If you're overly contested, don't go there, of course. But if you have enough space where there's maybe only one team and you want to take it, you will do well for the rest of the game because the rotations are good. They're easy and safer than most of the rest of the map. And of course, there's other areas to drop perfectly fine. Man, we're looking pretty good. A couple of teams needing to work on some renaming, but other than that, we are top tier material from everybody. We're very excited to bring you these tournaments and events. And man, oh man, before we go any further, I'm gonna take a break here for you guys to watch something very cool. We have our community showcase. All the teams that play with us that are consistent and a part of what we got going on will be featured for our events going forward in the future. So today we're gonna showcase one from the one and only Team DN Annuals, who's been with us consistently, showcase great defense, showcase great professionalism. One of those teams that are bringing the presentation to the board and giving us something to be excited for. Let's take a quick look.
Hey everybody, my name's Payup and/or Gaston Payup. I'm a Apex Legends player for the team DN Annuals, and we play competitively quite often. I'd say that our playstyle is very defensive, but we can hold it down with offense as well. We utilize mainly Caustic and Watson, and Gibby sometimes, but Mirage, Bloodhound, and a couple of more Assault characters are awesome to play with too. Our team plays Apex Legends because it's one of the best games to play competitively. I have competitive in my blood at times, so it's just a natural state of mind for me. So letting that unleash or allowing that to unleash in Apex is quite fulfilling for sure. I think playing in the CBL Champions Legacy tournament is one of a kind, at least for the Apex community. Like outside of ALGS and all that stuff, the production staff and how they approach tournaments and live coverage is just amazing to be a part of. And we're happy to see that excelling outside of the pro scene as well. So I like Apex Legends because it's one of the best FPS games out there. The movement is awesome, even though I play Caustic, but the movement is still awesome. Hey everybody, my name's Payup and/or Gaston Payup. I'm
Yes sir, right there. Take a quick look at what we got going on when it comes to bringing teams to you, letting you understand who they are, what they're about, and what they're doing. We want to help build these teams and help them grow going forward. Team DN Annuals has been professional. They've been on point. They've been some great defense overall when it comes to the gameplay and just the type of teams you want to pick up if you're an organization trying to sign somebody. And every week we will be showcasing a different team that's in our tournaments, that's consistent with us, that's there every single week. Maybe a winner or these players who are looking to win and get into our finals. We are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. I have no more words for you about anything other than the action. We've taken it to the action, and it's gonna get insane right now for game 2 with all of these teams who are looking to showcase who they are and what they're about. It's gonna get interesting for this next segment here because points for eliminations are 2 points now. So if a team gets 10 kills, that's 20, and you can keep going down the line. It's gonna be insane when it comes to checking the leaderboards and seeing who has the best overall system. Again, teams with low numbers that score 1 or 2 points are still viable. Just because you don't place top 10 to score points for placement, you can still get points for kills. So getting a little aggressive can help you. It's not always the best way. You want to try to win it all, because in the end, this is about winning. But it's a good start to get you rolling and get you a part of what's going to happen. So thank you all for tuning in and rocking with us. We've been having a great time. Been doing everything we can to give you the best game presentations for esports in the world, and we've received your love and grateful for all the hard work that we do being actually acknowledged by the community as we go forward. Now, enough talk. Let's go. Round 2. We are officially in it to win it, and we're looking at round 2, game 2 to be exact. And man, oh man, it is about to get insane as we're watching Team 7 Sins drop at the caustic spots. And look at this, they sitting comfortable, guys. Nobody came over. Speaking of coming over, my favorite area, we're going to talk about it here, Rad. My favorite area is map room. Why? Because you can get inside and you can scan the area, and it's incredible stuff. The spectators are in here looking to do what they do as they go forward, trying to win this game. Interesting stuff. They're going to get in here. They're able to scan the actual map and make some moves there as we go forward. It's a pretty dynamic situation, and I love it.
Yeah, and teams really utilizing the map room, getting, you know, the Octane with the purple armor. You got Mirage on the blue. Wraith's still looking for some armor. You don't always get the colored armor all the time. It's usually just 1, maybe 2 if you're lucky. Really good armor. But you got map room on secure, which means you can loot up, get the guns, be ready for fight if a team decides to rotate over from like Caustic or down to Repulsor, to get that early info on all the teams on the map as we hear the satellite booting up, and we're gonna see where all these teams are with the new zone.
Speaking of seeing with the new zone, they're seeing what we're seeing here. They're able to see where every single person is. That's kind of like if you're hosting the event right now, you can see that there's one team to the left of them in Caustics, and they have Replicator and Hydro to themselves at the moment, and they can easily just rotate, gear up real quick, and then find their way into the ring safely. This is the key component, making sure you know what you're doing. If you're gonna pick a fight, it's on your terms. It's not gonna be when another team pushes you and you're out of situation. You want to always have the right scenario play out for yourself. If not, then just step out of it and regroup with your team, finding where to go, what to do. And as we speak about what to do, there's other teams about to face off in a very split second. It's going to get interesting on the other side of the world, where there's always action. In one of my favorite areas, as a matter of fact, we see it on the Arenas map. It's a brand new world when you're looking through the eyes of Arena gameplay, which we'll talk about in the future. We do have Arena tournaments coming up shortly, so I can't really say anything about it until it's all ready to go, but be excited for that. It's going to be fun to see who has what it takes on the one-on-one. As we take a quick turn, and we're looking at Team Peach, who's actually on the verge of getting into some trouble with some teams, because there is a team right next door, and I believe one of them got scanned, and they might be in a fight very shortly. So should be interesting. Again, the starting points aren't about fights. It's more about looting up, getting in position, and holding it down. But there is 2 teams with UMP being right next door. We'll take a look at them and see what they have. UMP rotating. They understand, they see the teams, and they're going to push it right now in a minute and try to take control. As you see, they're very confident and comfortable looting up, getting through, and hopefully this is an interesting fight between these 2 teams as we go.
Yeah, as you talk about the fighting over here in the next door with UMP and
SOP.
everything, SOP
Right
is
now,
actually
exactly.
heading. They're trying to actually Peach Rings was wanting to take tunnels for rotation, SOP had already established their spot at artillery and started to move through tunnel. So Peach Rings had nothing to do other than to run down towards containment while SOP held the tunnel off. And UMP is still right next door to them.
Yeah, not only UMP, but Peaches. Like I was saying, we checked out Peaches, we checked out UMP, and then we see SOP right next door too. And these are the situations that as you rotate, you get caught off guard, and that is the worst thing you want. You want to be the one catching teams off guard. In this game, survival is, you know, you have a decent amount of health, time to kill, and your job is to be the first to lay a couple shots in on somebody before they can turn around and try to react. And that if you tend to do that often, then you're going to win a lot of your gunfights, because it basically gives you free damage before you get into the actual fight. So interesting. And plus, you never know what type of shield someone has. Somebody's already with a red or a purple, you can be in trouble.
Yeah, you really can. And while we were talking, well, you're talking about SOP Mag, UK actually had lost 2 players to MPH, miles per hour, while they were holding the edge of runoff in between pit.
Yep,
So
miles per hour. It's a brand new team, as well as the UK. Representing for UK, I guess that's what we're doing over here. And then we have miles per hour representing how fast you can go. Oh man, wouldn't it be something if team miles per hour wins today and yesterday was faster miles per hour taking the week?
Yeah, I guess it's just kind of like a speed week, huh?
Speed week, folks. But
Now, it is. I do want to point out that it is the irony that their name is miles per hour MPH, because they do have an Octane who runs very fast.
that is true. So there we go. Maybe that is the theme concept of having fast players that you can move with. And UK looks like they're just holding off, hoping to recover their banners, but might give up on it. And this is okay sometimes, guys. If you know you can't get your teammates, you know there's a stacked team there, you might want to just pull off and try to score placement points, rat it out, and hope you can get a couple kills in the process. It's not always safe to just get into the fight every single time. So we'll see what UK can do later as we pay attention and move on to the winners of yesterday. I'm sorry about that. We're going to switch off to Aim Assist, who's been a great team as far as consistency, and they've performed very well, but right now they're sitting in the cage, one of those areas that could get deadly.
Yeah, fighting that cage is always a dangerous spot because there's only one really high ground spot, but if you fight prolongs that cage and teams just surround cage, you're kind of stuck up in the tower with nowhere to go while all these teams are looking at you. So it's very rough spot is cage, even though there's some decent loot there generally. But not really a great spot to just sit.
Definitely not. And we're gonna take a quick look over and see what Team Humble's doing. They are getting into it at the moment, looking really good. Action right here from the Hipfire with the Spitfire. That's kind of disrespectful if you ask me. Hipfire with the Spitfire. I mean, literally beaming with that thing, and that tracking looking really good by Mr. Supreme himself from Team Humble. And that's the type of behavior you want to see from a team whose name tells you that they might be humble, but they're an amazing team. We've seen it multiple times as they finish off, get taken down. Right now, take another team down. This team is on fire.
Team Keynes is the team that they had just taken down.
Yep, and they're gonna keep on because there's another team right on them, and you don't know what could happen. We're gonna look at that team right now as we speak. Team Dad just scouting the area. They have Seven Sins and Team Humble all next to each other, and it's gonna get interesting. One thing I love right now with Season 9 is this bow might not be the fan favorite, but it's an amazing silent weapon, so you can take a couple shots without someone noticing exactly where you are, and the whole arena can't hear it. because it's pretty much silent almost. It's a very small noise compared to shots being fired.
It is, and as you talked with the bow, we were looking at Team Daddio. They were actually looking at a team that was rotating, which happened to be Team Minty, who is now kind of separated from each other, as all these teams are going to start converging on their location. We have Max flying in on top of, across the way from Team Dad, and we're going to see a rooftop battle right here in this area.
That is the fun side of stuff when you get into these situations with other teams, and you got to get into the circle, stay inside, and right now they're in right at the edge. But this is a tough spot to be because there's multiple teams surrounding them, and it looks like Minty might have some trouble right now getting in and staying in deep when there's multiple teams surrounding them. As we see a team ult out of that situation, smart move. And man, it's not looking so good for Team Minty and where they are right now. But again, it's still very early and you don't know what could happen. The point is
but as you say that one of Minty's players was trying to get away from Team Daddio shooting from the rooftop, and they ran into Team Humble, who is now working on finishing them in the skull across the way in the water. And we might be seeing a couple fights happen here.
Yep, 7 Sins are in the fight right now, trying to also put in some work and get their job done right here, which they're actually doing really good. But they're even right now, 1 player down each team, and they're just trying to survive this fight. For me, sometimes you don't want to try to survive. You got to push the team and surprise them. You have to be able to surprise. If I catch you off guard while you try to heal, I catch you off guard as you run around a corner, you know, that's going to give me the advantage. Even if it's 3 bullets, 2 bullets, it can make the difference. And right now, Team Minty stepping out of that situation, trying to save themselves from the trouble. And this is a good move, smart move to get out of it. We don't know if it's going to pay off. Sometimes good decisions doesn't mean great because you're always in a predicament trying to figure out your way through the scenarios. And DNS is getting into it right now as we speak. And we're going to see what they got going on. They're getting beamed from the rooftop where they are.
Yes, DS is going to sit in the building here in Salvage, where there's also another team just sitting and waiting. And as the zone starts to move in, you're going to start seeing a lot of teams rotating after they get the heals off. DS is may utilize the zip line over to the balloon just to get over towards Gauntlet, where this zone is going to end up pulling towards. Now, Minty is still sitting nice and pretty in the skull outside of Salvage. They're going to know when teams do end up rotating, and they're going to be able to get that information from DS's rotation here probably shortly, if I would have to take a guess.
Definitely. I mean, there's too much going on in that area right now when it comes to rotations and where to be. There's a lot of teams outside of the rotation area, and they're all fighting each other. As you see, Amos is getting hit pretty hard. Nothing like that. Heal up quick before you get back into the fight. Adrenaline, and they're looking to take this fight right now. They're going to push for it, pulling out a massive and a 301, getting in there deep, but they get taken out. Man, oh man, you talk about action. Jackson. Seems like Max Sense is trying to hit this third-party situation against Team Diaz. They don't got anything there for them other than 1 player down. They're going to clean them up just to make sure they have things in control as much as possible. They are getting hit pretty hard. It's a 1-on-2, and he's backing out of that situation. Again, Octane's pad is just incredible for those moments where things do get hairy. And we're gonna actually rotate over and take a look at 7 Sins as they battle it out, trying to wipe out this team right now, doing a good job so far. DS, 1 player left. Don't know if they're gonna make it out with a team like 7 Sins. Incredible team so far that we've watched yesterday, and now they're back in effect trying to finish this off. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, full wipe. Again, this is the type of action you want to see. Good stuff. And right now we're only down to 9 teams left in the whole lobby.
Yeah, now we're down to 8, and everyone's gonna start rotating in. There's another fight happening over at the edge of airbase between UMP and Nico, where it's a 3v2 situation. Nico, I don't think wants to actually take this fight, but
Definitely
they end up taking one of the players and getting their knocked down. So now it's up to this one Bloodhound. Mirage not gonna get it, and there is Nico out with UMP. Now in zone, free to loot these boxes as teams are going to start pulling in closer and closer, and with more fighting over across the map with the last player for SOP taking on another, it looks like a 1v6 situation between Minty Maniacs and Peatrines. SOP is going to try to get out, but he's not going to be able to do so, it doesn't seem, as he is wiped. SOP is now wiped out of that fight. Minty.
Yep. Speaking of that, apologies to cut you off. There was a quick stream error, guys. We're back. We're looking at right now the amazing finish here with 6 teams on ring 4. I like it when there's only a few teams left in the ring, because this is the tension and the build up for the finale. As we see Team Humble only with 1 player. We're gonna take a look at every single team, and then you got Peach with 3 players, and they're sitting pretty in a comfortable spot, but they need to rotate into the ring. We have UMP with a full deck of 3 and all purple shields, and they're in the middle of a fight. We might have to stay here and watch them, but they do want to rotate into the ring as well, as they do so right now, slowly, but trying to pick off Team Maniac, who's in the back, picking off shots, trying to stop them from rotating into the ring. And this is the type of fight you want to see. Oh my god, we got a Revenant. Oh yes, baby. Maniacs going in for the kill, trying to finish this off. UMP trying to survive this Revenant, and it's such a pain to deal with. Something amazing about the game, a game changer. We rarely see it in tournaments because of it being not always as reliable as a Gibby Bubble. And as we see there, it worked out for Team Maniacs. They definitely are Maniacs. Using a Revenant ult is a fun and wild, thrilling experience when you're the one using it. When you're getting it used on you, it can get a little bit hairy and insane. That was some great stuff by Team Minty. And right now, 7 Sins are sitting comfortable in the ring. We have Team Minty Humble with 2 players, so they're still in the fight. It's possible for them to win it all. And then we have Peaches, the last team, who's still outside of the ring trying to get in while it's closing on them. They're gonna have to figure this out and find a good rotation spot to get in deep and be in control of at least their destiny when it comes to positioning. Very important. And speaking of positioning, we're gonna see some fights happening on this side of the map where multiple teams are about to end up bumping heads very shortly, with Humble only 2 players left, and they have Peaches looking at them in this scenario, and possibly they can easily take them out here if they take the time to peek over their shoulder and check out the situation. Man, I love what Maniacs did. I don't think this lobby is ready for that type of disrespect where they completely wipe out everybody through a Revenant. It was incredible push, smart, tactical. People have to prepare for a Revenant. They have to know and call it out ahead of time when they see it.
Yeah, it really is an important thing to be able to call out, because that gives the team that is in the Revenant ult a double chance to push in, do damage, get knocks potentially, to actually fully push and commit a fight before the Revenant ult ends. And we're going to see 3 teams battling out. Humble is now getting on under and fighting Team Maniacs, as we're seeing 1 knock for Team Humble. The Valk's gonna try to get away. Best play safe for her. Sins getting in the sky with the Valk ult and everything, trying to get that information on all these teams.
Exactly, and getting repositioned into the final ring, which is the most valuable part. Staying in the final ring, everybody can fight. Go ahead and fight. We're gonna hold it down in our final ring and try to win this game. So big credit to 7 Sins for wanting to win the game and not just get into a fight right away when it might not be necessary. And we're looking at Team Peach from above, seeing Team 7. They're also in the best God position right now, holding it down with the high ground and overall sitting very comfortable, while we still have 4 teams. Team Sin in the ring also. The teams we're going to be looking out for trying to get into the ring is Team Maniacs, which they're about to get hit with a defensive bombardment. And man, they survive it, but oof, some
Yeah,
heavy
but here
hits
we
there.
go. It's the final fights between the Team 7 Sins, Minty, and Peach Reigns. Peach on the Godspot height, ultimate height. Watching this fight all happen go down. 7 Sins getting another knock down with another res in the Gibby bubble off of Team Minty. Now here comes Peach Reigns. They're gonna push in with their own Gibby bubble and make sure they're safe, but they get hit with the Valk stun. Now in the back of the truck underneath, a knock. That's 2 knocks.
Looking really good
One
right now for
for
Team
each.
Peach. They are pretty strong in here, but they're down now. 2 players.
They're
They can
down.
win this fight here. All they got to do is reload, re-heal, and they're good to go once they... Oh, and they get taken out. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Minty with 2 players left can finish this off very shortly, and they will. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Minty Maniacs are truly maniacs. Insane. Wild finish, but great stuff. And Revenant. Team Revenant. Don't sleep on Revenant. I know we've all been mad by getting pushed by a Revenant ult, but it's a part of the game, and it is insane when it does pop off. Man, love what I saw there by Team Maniacs. That's 2 in a row. 2 in a row.
You know what that means? Just based off the wins alone, that's 24 points off the first 2 games, which is halfway pretty much. Just
they have-
off of winning
They
for
already
match-
have 17 right now. With this win, they should be well over, almost at 50, if not 50, depending on how many kills they got. If we take a second to talk about that and look at that and see exactly what was the scenario for Team Minty. Team Minty ended up getting 8 kills and the win. So you look at the numbers, they are sitting unbelievably amazing right now. That's 16 plus 12. You do the math, and that's 28 points plus there's 17 already. And we're gonna show the leaderboards in a second, but man, big respect, humbled natured right there. Everybody in the community, there's been a time where we used Revenant and laughed and had a good time with our friends when we pushed the team. Let's not judge these Revenant players. It's a fun mechanic when it's not being used on you. It's hilarious, and it's a good strategy if you can surprise a team with it and put in some work with it. It's not as easy to use. You have to be good with it. And that right there, my friends, we're going to humbly bow down for a moment, the whole community, and just give Revenant his respect for the day. 2 games in a row, Revenant team has won back to back against some top teams that we've seen in this event. And I love what I just saw. To break it all down, we're going to let you guys know you can also get involved and be a part of what we got going on here. Jump on board. As you see, the schedule is open for all. All right. On June 24th, next Thursday, we have another event. It's going to be open to everybody to enter. All you have to do is show up and show out, baby. We're going to have you in there and be a part of this. Today's events are still happening. We have game 3. It's not over yet, baby. We're going to see who can make it to 50 first. Just because they make it there doesn't mean they won the game. They have to actually win the next match after they are eligible by getting to 50. Very simple, very setup. We'll talk about that in a minute. But man, next week, you guys want to sign up now for these tournaments because it's going to get crazy. Good gameplay so far by some of these teams. And man, I did not think Minty was that great, but I am humbled to say, man, that team is serious. Rad, what do you think about them?
Yeah, Team Minty is definitely putting on a great show, playing very smart, getting all the information they need to before they take their fights. They'll sit and watch their teams just fighting each other, getting all the info they need before they jump and pounce on something. and they play it very smart, and that's why they've been able to win these games back to back so far and be only 5 away, like pretty much at match point, if my math is correct.
I'm not doing the math. We're letting see the one you envy control the numbers, but we do want to talk about the numbers. If you want to check the platform and see what this format is, I'm showcasing it right now so everybody can know. Teams are trying to get to 50. The way they get their placement points, as you see, first place will get you the most points, which is 12, and it keeps going down from there. Then you look at the eliminations. Eliminations, when you kill somebody, you can get multipliers on this. So the first round is only 1 point. The second round, it's 2 points. That was what we just saw. The second game was 2 points. So the fact that Minty ended up with 8 already on this last game, looking really, really good for them overall. I gotta respect and humbly bow out to them for that amazing play somewhere in the middle of the match where they surprised teams drastically with what they did there. So looking really good. We're gonna see the leaderboards once they are officially updated, and then we'll go from there, and it should be good to go. We're gonna take a quick look and see what we got, man. Again, these scores are insane. Just the fact that they did so well already as we go. Let's take a quick look and look at this. 45 points. I would have thought it would have been a little more. I did not do the math, guys, but man,
And you were talking about they had 16 points in just kills alone from this game. They pretty much almost doubled their overall points from the last game when they were sitting at 17 to have a 16-point game. That's almost matching their previous game point.
yeah, they scored, I think, 16 for kills, and then they got
The extra
12.
for winning.
So that's 28 on that last game.
Big game for Minty right there, especially taking the back-to-back wins. Now Humble still does have a shot here to get some kills going into game 3, where it is I believe a 3 times multiplier in kills.
Yes, game 3 we're about to watch and play and see is a multiplier. This next one is a little bit more insane. This is where the teams who you see below, and this is a good point to point out, teams like Humble who have 33 points, or Seven Sins with 29, Peaches, and all of the teams, even the teams with no points, can easily make it up right now by stepping up and putting in a show for us. So one of the best parts about this, since we're not in the majors or finals, we added this multiplier for eliminations to spice up the tournament. It's for the community, so we want people watching to enjoy and have a good time as well. So that is important to us. And man, so far so good from everybody who's participating, showcased what they have. And don't sleep, these teams who are on the lower half of the scenario can make their way up easily on this next game. And since there's nobody eligible to win it all, everybody can play loose and just worry about trying to score as much points as possible, whether it's getting placement for 12 points or trying to get kills, which are going to be 3 points to start off with. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. We're almost ready. We got a couple teams needing to prep here, and we're gonna go into the next round. Funny enough, you know, for me, what I saw there is consistency by the top teams that we've seen yesterday. Humble, Seven Sins, Peaches, all bringing the pain when it comes to their consistency. On top of that, teams that we saw perform well yesterday, UMP right there at 6. But what I like most is that we do have new teams, like Maniacs are the first time top of the board here, and then we have Max Sense, who when performing well, when they're doing well within the game, they can hold it down. So don't ever sleep on any of these teams. Battle Royale is very hard, and we're trying to get, just so everybody knows when they see these leaderboards, basically the job is to get to 50. Once you reach 50, you're eligible to win it all. The only way to win it all is to actually finish the game as number one in the match. So we're going into game 3, but we're definitely going to see a game 4, and maybe if nobody wins the game 4, we can go on to game 5. Usually by game 5, multiple teams have 50. As you can see, the points are escalating pretty fast right now. Multiple teams are already at that level, almost maxed out, sitting very pretty and comfortable. Who knows what will happen here on this next game? Maybe none of these top teams win or score, and you have some of these underdog teams coming in and putting in work. Should be interesting to see how this plays out. It's looking really good overall. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Thank you guys for tuning in, rocking with us. Let's get it popping. We're about to get it into the next game, and I hope y'all enjoy as we go forward to see who is really the best of the best in the world when it comes to Apex Legends. And folks, just a reminder, you can come over to our Discord and be a part of what we have going on. If you have any thoughts or questions, please hit us up over there. Or any players and teams that are in the tournament, go over there and talk to us and get involved. And everything about the events are meant for the events. So please speak in those channels. If you're a team captain or a player, talk to us over there as well. Our Discord is open for everybody. And man, we're already seeing some good smart drops as we start this lobby. We're going to take a quick scrim of the area and see where everybody goes. We know that Fragment tends to be a hot zone, so we're going to pay attention to Fragment. And already a team dropping on top of each other, and this is serious drama with Team KW already getting into a fight with Team Max. Max looking for the smoke, and they are pushing Team KW. And man, I love what I'm seeing here. Very aggressive, taking down one of the players and just reloading and preparing. And this right here is good stuff from Team Max, trying to get aggressive, give us action, and already wiping. That was insane. You talk about maximum efficiency, looking really good at the moment. Team Nico with a 1 player about to take a fight. Look at this, very brave, willing to get into some trouble here, and who knows how this will play out. They are definitely going to be going at it. And one of these zip line plays, you know how this all works. It's a lot of back and forth, up and down, and trying to get someone caught off position. And man, so far so good for Team Max. I feel like they're going to be sitting pretty. They did a lot of damage already. They're going to have their shields up without having to loot anything. They'll get their shields up to blue pretty fast. Love it. I love it. I love it so far. Great stuff by them.
Indeed, and for those of you that are new and looking at getting into Apex or have watched tournaments and have thought about it, remember with the new Evo shields that they had brought out a few seasons ago, it's all damage based. So you can drop with your white armor that you get, it's 150 to upgrade the blue. If you do that damage, it's an automatic blue armor, and that could really shift the fight in your favor.
Definitely shift the fight in your favor, and this is a really good overall format here. When I'm looking at Team Revenant, I'm sorry, Raven, they're also going to be pushing. Let's take out this 2-time winning Maniacs sitting out here in the backside, very comfortable. This is one of the places I like to go and just loot up and prepare for the fight when I'm playing ranked. And right now they are gonna be comfortable right now. Even if a team gets them, they all have blue shields. As you can see, this is just a premium. And actually, as I say it, no jinx here, but Jinx, you see Team 7 Sins, they are going to be getting into it with Team Maniacs, and this is what 7 Sin would want. If they can take out Team Maniacs, this is the difference maker for them. They can get back into the fight and run it up. Right now, they are 3rd place. If they take out Team Minty early, then this changes everything. Then they can become #1 for this next match right here. Just from that alone, will give them an advantage to get boost up from their third place and try to take first place overall. Of course, it's easier said than done when Maniacs have been a little bit of maniatic. Is that a word? We're going to make up new words today, Rad.
Well, we're good at making up words. This is the end of the day. We talked about pushability.
Pushability, another word we got that we made up out here. The pushability, and hopefully we'll see some really good stuff. And right now, Maniacs holding the high ground, smart, slick. They got 7 Sins stuck in a box like rats, waiting to get out, and they might not get out the way things are looking here for Team 7 Sins. I like the confidence and the overall just smart play here. They're just in control, and they all have blue shields, so that's a little extra health. It's a good kick. It's a good start. I don't know if they're gonna get their Revenant all for this fight, but man, it would be insane if they did.
This is an interesting tactic that they're doing because they've set up on top of 7 Sins right here to kind of lock them in that one building.
Yep,
And this
yep,
is
they
usually
did take them out, one of their players out. Now they're pushing to take the fight here. Maniacs doing a good job taking out 2 players, but oh my goodness.
The trade, and Minty taking out 7 Sins off of the board, not able to get any more points, but Minty will just continue to climb their points lead.
Exactly. With that wipe right there, they're officially about to be eligible for the next game to win it all. So pretty much Minty Maniacs are certified right now, eligible for game 4. So really good stuff by them. Pretty much you're looking at a possible winner now. They took out Team 7 Sins, who was 3rd place. That gives everybody else a chance to get in on the fight. So in a way, if you're another team, you're okay with it. As long as you take out the top teams are getting eliminated, it'll help you in the long run. And at the moment, overall, very well performance by Maniacs. And this first ring is not going to hurt them. They'll be comfortable for the rest of the game. But we are going to look at UK seeing a team there, but there's 2 teams in their areas, so they're about to get into it thick. Sometimes being in the center of it all can be great because you can get a lot of damage out and get your shields up. Then it can be trouble because you can get pushed by multiple teams. So we'll see what they do, and they're in one of the best positions of the area, having this high ground and overall view of every single person in that area. Very comfortable. And speaking of comfortable, they're sitting up here with a Gibby and a Bloodhound, and this is important when you're trying to hold positions because Gibby can throw his ult and his bubble for any type of protection or offense. And then on top of that, Bloodhound, of course, with his scans, always useful. So UK in the best spot in this area, but we got Mad Sense and multiple teams in here with them, and you never know what could happen. Of course, the fights will take place at any moment, and right under them they see the team and they're looking to try to do something against Max, and I don't know if they can. Max is a pretty amazing team too.
They're looking to push it.
And this is sometimes the right move because you don't want the team to get any type of advantage, and you're going to push them out of their scenario. Now, I don't know if it's going to work out. Sometimes these pushes can go reverse. Good stuff by UK, just being aggressive, trying to score points. They're 8th overall so far right now with only 12 points. They got to get up there, and this will be good wipe if they can take them out.
Yeah, this would be really good, especially because it is Max that they're chasing, who is only a team of 2 players. So they're taking the 3v2. They're taking that into an effect. They're waiting to regroup to be able to actually push the building potentially, just to do a quick elimination on this team as Max Sense gets scanned by the Bloodhound. 1 kick to the door, it opens. Octane's very weak, but blocking the door, and it's not going to be enough because the door was already halfway broken. All it needs is 2 kicks and you break the door as the Octane gets knocked from Max Sense as they are just going to continue to push this team and take them off the map. UK, very nice of being aggressive there.
6 points. 6 points for that one right there. UK just got. So you do the math there. They're up on the leaderboards, and they're going to slowly climb up. So they're almost at 20 points, and they're getting there to 50. And again, all you got to do is get some kills, get some wins here. Doesn't take much, even though the Maniacs are eligible for game 4. They still have to finish this game, and all the rest of the teams are playing to reach 50 also. So everybody wants to get to 50 to be eligible to win the tournament. Pretty simple, pretty basic format, and so far so good. And as we see right now, they see another team. They're looking to get aggressive, but the question is it worth it all the time? Sometimes you're overly aggressive and it'll cost you big time. And at the moment, UMP is right next door to them, and we're gonna see this little battle between UMP and Team UK. And again, they're a little bit far from each other. Now this is where it gets crazy. UMP is stuck between two teams. At this moment, you make a decision. I'm gonna rotate out of it, or I'm gonna pick a fight with one of the teams and take the battle. And these are the questions on players' minds on what type of strategy are they going to use. It's never safe when you go through these things. Now let's take a quick look over into UK, who's pushing right now, doing a good job to try and track Team UMP, but man, survival is important here.
Yeah, it really is, and as you've got teams down on the bottom side of the arena, they're still on the outside. A lot of teams seem to be playing edge. It seems to be they're just rotating in with the zone as it moves. They're looking to get rotations, looking at early fights outside of the arena before they move in. You've got other teams that are looking to maximize on that and be the only teams inside the zone so you can gatekeep other teams out. It's just a very different, multiple different play styles, and it's really good to see all these teams having different play styles, because that gives us a lot of different action at different times.
Definitely does. And then speaking of different times, we're sitting here with the speed demons, miles per hour, aka MPH, trying to find some action, and they are in the middle of it with multiple teams in that area, and they want to get to the ring very shortly, as it is about to close up on them. And second ring doesn't bother too much, but you still want to be early on the rotation just in case you do get caught up in a fight. And we're going to take a quick look at some teams that are definitely looking for some action right now. Team O Block trying to find something and trying to make a move as they go forward. Man, good stuff right here overall. I want to see what O Block can do. They're getting aggressive. They want to take this push and push a team back outside of the circle. It's the right thing to do. You want to gate anybody off and grief them and keep them in the ring as much as possible and force them into a fight, but a disadvantage at the same time. So
yeah, and O Block really holding Keynes off at this choke point. Keynes is stuck in the middle of this choke point with nowhere really else to go other than back around. But if they go back around, they run into UK. So now it's a matter of do you force the push out of that choke point for Keynes, or do you just try and hope that UK is already rotated around and you have a safe rotation back away from any of the danger that you have right now, because that is a tight choke that Keynes is sitting on right now.
definitely, and it's not just Kings. I mean, there's three teams behind Kings to the right of them. So if the Kings decide to go to the right, they're going to be in trouble, or they can take on O Block, and this is where that decision making is critical. You know, your IGL, who's your IGL? We talk about that a lot when it comes to Apex. The leaders are the most important factor in the setup. So what is the decision making that you're going to make as the ring goes to close out shortly? And O Block just doing a good job, and even if they don't suppress them or finish them off, the small points that they get, they're leveling up their shields. One player already leveled up to purple, and now he's slowly working on that red shield, which is going to be a good advantage if you can get it in this scenario. So pay close attention to them, but they are not alone. You have a lot of great teams, 11 teams still left. And right now, Ravens are looking for the fight as they are pushing back 2 teams. As a matter of fact, they're surrounded by 2 teams. And this is the type of scenario where they're sitting in the ring and they're pushing teams back as well, trying to force teams to deal with them. And they're doing a good job so far. Got one player taken down, though, in the process of taking another player down. Aim assist, looking to get back in the fight here. They get hit, and it looks like Aim assist losing one of their players completely. And man, oh man, players are going down left and right. It is getting insane as the ring closes and the bombardment comes down. Still pretty good overall for Team Raven as they're up top. But look at this aim assist with the amazing movement by Valkyrie here. Now it's a one-on-one and he gets taken down, folks. It's literally a one-on-one by Team Aim Assist and Raven. But Raven needs to go ahead and heal up before the next fight happens. They are going to be pushing him very shortly. Aim Assist taking it easy, taking their time. They know that they're in the ring. They don't have much to worry about. And they're trying to keep Raven back from the fight, as you see right now. Insane stuff.
As we talk about these 2 teams, Aim Assist and Raven, they are both now in a 1v1, both solo players in this area. So now it's, do they force the 1v1, or do we think, is there another team that's going to roll up? Because we've got Daddy Hill coming up behind them, taking shots at Raven underneath the Lava Visher. And that might just be it, because Raven looking at about 25-ish HP, hitting that battery.
Raven's a little safe because, oh no, they're not. As I speak too soon, I saw that these guys did see Team Aim Assist there, but they did not want to go for them. They're going after Raven automatically. They're gonna try to take that fight there, and good positioning for this thing here. But you want to also get back into the next ring. And me, I would always prioritize getting into the ring as a player who works on IQ and being able to position myself properly. And a lot of these players try to do the same thing, but sometimes you're in these fights like Raven has been right now. They're in a tough situation. And speaking of tough situation, look at Maniacs still alive and well with 8 teams left. They are sitting pretty here. They're right next door to this situation and looking to get some more blood. And what's funny is the teams with the lead can steal points away from anybody else trying to reach 50. So right now, Raven is doing a really good job holding these teams back from being able to get to 50. The more teams they take out themselves, the more points they rack up and eliminate from the board for everybody else. And look at this, a Valkyrie ult, really smart positioning. I like it. I like it. I like it. They actually went away from the Revenant and now they're using Valkyrie, Octane, and Bloodhound. That is a really good setup. They've moved into the ring now. They see where all the teams are. They're going to reposition themselves. This is a good area, but UMP is right there watching them, so they can't be on the roof. So it might not be the best position, but it might work out for them if UMP doesn't survive this next ring. They're on the 4th ring, and they are not sitting so pretty when it comes to getting scanned by 2 teams in this area. So they're going to have to rotate out and find a better advantage point.
Yeah, but here comes Minty over the hill, looking at Milespire MPH, trying to contest them for this spot here right next to the beacon in the zone, where zone is pulling now. It's all these teams looking up from the bottom, all teams looking up from top. UMP down to 1 player on the Bloodhound. He's now trying to figure out what he's going to be having to do. He's stuck on the side of the mountain. He has nowhere to go to avoid all these shots. There's a Gibby bombardment that's going to take him out.
That is really good stuff right there. Perfect timing for that. And it's not easy to deal with a Gibby bombardment in this scenario. And if we're going to take a quick look on the overview of what is happening so you guys can get a better picture of what's happening. These 2 teams are going at it, but it's looking really good for Minty right now because they have the ring. But the other teams in the area are going to be working to try to fight for that last building. So it's going to be an interesting battle once everybody gets deeper into this ring, because we're on the 5th and it's about to go down. Everything is going to close up, and it's going to be a dangerous scenario, as we see right now. UK trying to take out one of the other players. Let's move on in and watch some of these gameplay from them. UK right here sitting pretty in the ring as well. It's another team that's very comfortable, but you got to understand that comfortable doesn't mean safe in this game. You might have a great position, but you're not going to be alone. It's going to always be a team ready to come at you. And right next door in the building next to them, there's UK, and there's
there's UK and Daddy on these building fights now, with Minty looking down above from the height. But UK is gonna have to focus one of these teams on the lower ground, because you can't really shoot a team that's got a head glitch on you from above. So you gotta really focus and decide which fight you're wanting to take, and you're hoping that one of these teams slip up, you can get an easy knockdown on another player. You got teams now all sandwiched together. Everyone looking around. Daddy looking up above, making sure that Minty's not gonna try and do anything crazy. You got Daddy-O that they're looking at too. They've got all the information that they need. They know where every team is at. They know who's all here. They know where everyone's at. It's gonna be a tight fight as this range starts to close.
exactly. And speaking of close, right now Minty to me is in the best position because they don't have to fight first. The rest of the teams are stuck together, and they will have to fight, and then they will work their way towards Minty. Unless a team decides to come up top on this hill where Minty is, they're sitting pretty for the remainder of this situation. But these guys dead in the center, at the right position as far as being dead center. It's looking good for them when it comes to that, but it's not so good with these other teams next door getting ready to push the fight and to go forward. As you can see, Daddy-O and Team UK, the last three teams here, are trying to get in to a better position, holding the high ground. As you can see now, people are starting to understand that Minty needs to get taken out. They are gonna, Daddy-O's gonna pop the Valkyrie on. See what they're gonna do with this. I mean, there's only so much space in this area. You can use it to scan where the rest of the teams are. You can use it to get higher ground, which they're doing at this time, trying to take the position. Are they going to go for the push or the high ground? Looks like they're going for the push right behind Maniacs. Might not work out because when you drop, there's a small animation which puts you in a disadvantage when you're landing on someone. And there he goes right there. Daddy-O down a player, but so is Maniacs. Maniacs looking to try to survive this situation. At the moment, one player left, their team leader all alone. Oh my goodness, great stuff by Daddy-O. And those guys are moving up in the world. Second place already. They're 9th in the leaderboards, and they're about to try to win this thing. But UK, SA, let's go. Great stuff right there. That third party push, they waited for the fight and took it like you're supposed to, baby. Good stuff right there. Amazing.
Yeah, UK played it very, very well. And one thing that I kind of want to analyze this last Valkyrie ult that Daddy-O did. I think what they were thinking is that when you're in the Apex community, you follow pro players, you watch their streams, you watch any YouTube videos that you can with any advice that they give. Now, NRG Sweet had talked about how they had lost to TSM because of a Valkyrie ult. A Valkyrie ult takes you higher than the mountains on either side. And there's a 30-second timer that a Valkyrie team can land on and stay up there for at least the 30-second timer before it just eliminates them off the map completely. And I think that's what Daddy was trying to do. They couldn't find the proper ledge to sit on top of them, so they were forced to fight Minty, and it just worked out better for you.
Speaking of that, we're gonna take a look at the replay as they ult, and they tried to get up top. I'm looking at the replay right now for everybody to watch. They tried to get up top. They did the right thing, but they didn't have the right positioning. If they moved a little higher up, they probably would have been able to fight this, but they dropped down. They got hit pretty hard. It was a Maniac scenario. Everybody was going crazy in this position, losing multiple players, and Maniacs trying to survive it, couldn't do so. But what's funny enough is after this fight right here, the smart team to win it all, had Daddy-O with literally a slither of health. They came in for the third party push and took him out right away. And that's how UKS did their thing. And once again, that's just a quick replay for you guys to see exactly the scenario that did happen while we went forward. Incredible stuff overall. And I want to see more of that type of action where people are playing strategic. You know, Daddy-O didn't have to do anything in that last fight. They held their position and didn't let nobody push them. Once they saw the fight begin and players start to go down, they took advantage and ran it up and made it work. So everybody watching, thank you for tuning in. This is Core Battle Leagues bringing you Apex Legends Champions Legacy Tournament Series. You are welcome to join, whether you're a new player, a pro player. In every aspect, you are free to join. Come over to our Discord, check out our schedule, see which event you can make, get your team signed up, and then we'll have you on here. When you're playing in these tournaments, make sure you communicate to us on the Discord. Tell us any factors and issues that you might have so we can be there and help you guys out to go forward. That being said, next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and not Sunday, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we'll have events lined up for you guys. I'm pretty excited about it. And man, we're gonna change the servers right now. We're gonna go into the second portion of this event. We're gonna have a good old time with you guys. I'm sure it's going to be a blast to see this next part. Once we find out what team made it, what team got to 50, maybe it'll be more than just one team, because that has happened plenty of times once we've gotten to game 4. So who knows what it could be. Let's hope for the best, and maybe there's more than just Team Maniacs who made it, because UKSA was so incredible. You got to give them the credit and the love and support, and help them believe in themselves, because they went and showcased it as best as possible. So I'm interested to see what they can do. As far as, I'm sure they made it to 50 also, to be honest with you, just mentally thinking about the score, trying to put it all together. We're going to get the players onto the next lobby. I'm going to send them the codes right now, and then we're going to be good to go. So far, so good. We are definitely diving deeper into today's games. It's been a blast, to say the least. And speaking of a blast, take a look at the actual format so you can know how this all works. Pretty much these teams are playing to reach 50. Through that's when they're eligible to win it all. The way they can get to 50 is through placement. First place gets 12, etc., and then kills. This is the interesting part. This is where it takes you to the next level. The next level is every kill, every round, the kills go up. So first round is 1 point per kill. Second is 2 rounds. Third game is 3 points. Fourth game is 4 points. And we are officially going into game 4 right now. And man, it's gonna be insane, because I do believe Maniac and UKSA are actually right up there when it comes to getting to 50. So you're talking about top tier material, and you have a chance to make it into the majors if you win this all. I'm gonna show the roadmap and leave it right here and give it over to Rad, so you could just break down, Rad, as you have been a player and a commentator for this. If you want to break down the Champions Legacy and tell me your experience, what players should expect. I know this is your first time commentating and you're new to us, but give us your thoughts with the Championship Legacy. Break it down, Rad.
Yeah, so the Champions Legacy roadmap, as you can see out here on your screen, you have the community nights where teams fight in the match point format to move on into the majors. Now, once the majors happen, then the top teams from those majors will then be moving on into the championship to fight for a prize pool that will be determined at a later time. This Champions Legacy series is definitely a big thing for the community, both for players and just overall for your CBL to present this and put on such a great show. Has been an absolute phenomenal time as a player. Very helpful, very user friendly. They have step-by-steps for everything. If you're new into the tournaments and you don't understand exactly how things go, definitely do the Discord command and join up on the Discord. Is definitely a roadmap that you want to be a part of. Definitely a Discord you want to be a part of, even if it's just meeting other players, getting to know, other people, making friends along the way. That's what it really is about, as well as competing, improving what your teams can do.
Totally agree with that. Shout out to Rad coming through with the intro. Guys, he's trying to take my job here, trying to break things down for you guys and show you what we're expecting and what we got going on. Come on, Rad, you taking my job?
No, I'm not trying to take your job, man. I do want to say though, as a player, it's been phenomenal playing these tournaments, and for you to do what you do to put these on and everything, it means really a lot for us to truly prove what we can do and showcase the world what everyone is capable of.
Definitely. I'm excited for everybody, and I appreciate you saying that, but I'm more excited for everybody here who some players and teams, are getting looked at, and then on top of that, proving themselves in different ways. As we go forward, we're going to keep escalating this platform to give you guys top tier materials. You're going to have the top tier teams really out there in the world, seeing what it do in many ways and forms. And speaking of top tier teams and top tier forms, you want to see leaderboards, don't you? Isn't that what you're here for? Is that not why you came? Let's go.
Everyone wants to see these leaderboards, and look at this. UK taking the lead from Minty with an 81 points.
81 points. All right, first of all, let's take a pause. My logo for Court Battle League, this esports organization, was tribute to Kobe Bryant. And I did it before he passed away. I don't want to make this a sad stream, but I did it before he passed away because he's one of the greatest skilled players I've ever seen. And as you can see the logo on the top right, that's Kobe Bryant's dunk, famous dunk that he's once did. And it's a tribute to him. And the reason I bring that up is because he's one of the only players to ever score 81 points in a game. And shout out to UKSA, somehow getting 81 points, letting me add that segue about our logo into the broadcast. That being said, right underneath them is Minty Maniacs. This tournament is far from over. This tournament is just beginning, folks. Until you get to 50, nothing matters. All that matters is right now. Team UKSA and Minty Maniacs both are eligible to win this tournament right now on this next game. The only way they can win the tournament is they have to win the whole match, be number one overall to take this game. They have it in their hand. It's theirs to lose, okay? It's theirs to lose. So right now is the time. Rad, what do you got to say about this?
Honestly, for UK to take that top spot from Minty, that's going to be... Those are the two teams, the top two teams, UK and Minty. They are eligible. So now you have to really think from all the other teams below them with 7 sins. They're only 5 points away from match point to be eligible. So if they can shut down either one of those top teams, that's another step closer for them to get going for a game 5.
If necessary. If necessary. Because UKSA and Minty Maniacs have been playing insane. They have a chance to win it all. But I will state this. One thing that a lot of people don't remember when I just showed the format. Every game, the points follow the game number. So we're on game 4. Means eliminations are 4 points for each elimination. So the teams that are in 10th place, like aim assists, or Kings that are in 9th place, if they get a bunch of kills on this next game, they will 100% reach 50, above 50, easily. All you have to do is wipe out 2 teams, 6 teams. You're gonna get 30 points off that. You'll be right there to go. So you look at teams like UMP, Peach Ring, and Max and Humble. They're all within the 30-point range. They can wipe out one team, maybe a player or two after that, and they'll be right there at 50. The catch behind what you're hearing is, sure, you can get to 50 on this next game, but if you allow UKSA or Minty Maniacs to win it all, it's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. A little reference to a basketball dunk contest. So that's crazy. And right now we're going to be watching Team UKSA and Minty Maniacs to see who really does have what it takes, because it's sure, they're hyped up. Minty won 2 games in a row, and then UKS won that 3rd game. We're going into the 4th, and we'll see what they have. As you saw, Minty couldn't win it all on that last game, and UK got that win because of a third-party scenario. They played it smart, but it's not over at all. And we're about to get started. We gave players enough time to kind of take a break. We hope everybody's ready and locked in as we about to start this very shortly. We want to talk for a second, and I'm going to put a little quick segment here for you guys to have a discussion with me directly. First and foremost, this is a presentation format for you guys in the community. Starting next week, I will be featuring your tweets. I'm going to tweet about the games and things to expect in the future and the past, winners, and anything that you want to talk about when it comes to the Championships Legacy Tournament Series. Go right ahead and hit us up, which I'll get that information for you guys through my Twitter, and then let you be featured on our actual streams as somebody showing love and support, because this is what it's all about, you guys, the community. And on top of that, we are going to also try to engage a lot more in between the matches with some commentary and see what you guys are saying. Normally we keep it straightforward about these matches. Today I did open up the chat, which I don't normally do, and we're checking you guys out. Thank you guys so much for coming through and showing love and support, and very excited to continue to bring this to you guys throughout YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and all of the platforms that we have for you guys available watching this right now as we speak. And for those who watch it later, we thank you also. We try to keep it as short as possible for the players won't have to play extended hours, for the viewers can enjoy it also. We're trying to give everybody a little bit of love and support, and I want to take a moment to give some love and support for our co-host here. I am B-Rad, his first casting with us, and he volunteered because he's a player. He wanted to play in this. He played in this and yesterday, and today he wasn't playing, so he decided he wanted to come on board and volunteer himself to be a part of this movement. And you are welcome to join us too, but just give a big shout out to Rad, everybody in the chat. Let him know that he's loved and supported for coming on board to our esports organization and getting the ball rolling when it comes to bringing more variety to you guys. I want to keep bringing in a great casters, great guests consistently throughout these events, and we will do so. We'll have some more amazing stuff, while also building a team of people who are consistently here and a part of us as a family that we are as we go forward. We're looking forward to this next match. Waiting for one player. Could we shout him out? Could we give him a blast? Put him on blast? Once we get this one player, we are going to start the match, because I just want to see the action. I want to see what's happening. The speculation, the the thrill of figuring out who's really going to do it. I'm going to take a look back at the actual stats here and just marvel at the fact that there's 5 teams just a little bit above 30 on this next game, get a couple kills, they'll end up at 50. 7 Sins have 45. All they got to do is get 1 kill and a half, 2 kills, and they'll be in it. They don't even have to win a game. They can literally get 2 kills and just wait for the next match. But with everybody on this lobby except for UKSA and Minty Maniacs, everybody else has to stop them. They have to stop them. Everybody in the lobby must get aggressive. The moment they see Minty Maniacs or UKSA, if I'm a player, I'm coming for blood, Rad. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. If you're one of the teams looking to stop Minty or even UK, you definitely have to be looking out for blood. You have to get those kills, and you definitely have to watch and pay attention to the kill feed now, because if any of those players start to get kills, then you have to start to worry once you get closer and closer, because if they're still alive, that's a big punishment, and that's a big worry for a lot of these teams, because it could all end up on this game.
Could definitely end on this game, and it might, and it's exciting. It's not a bad thing that it ends on this game. That just means UKSA or Minty Maniacs are great teams, and they held it down and they took care of it in 4 games. Okay, nobody's ever won in 3 or 2 games. These games are designed for 4 or 5 or 6 games, but automatically by the time we finish game 4, if these 2 teams don't win, you're going to see more teams stack up and be able to compete with 50 also, and they'll be able to take over and possibly have a chance to win on the next game, if there is one, if necessary, because you never know. And I wonder, who do you have an eye on most that is not eligible to win right now outside of Maniacs and UK that you think might be able to pull out a performance for themselves, Rad?
Honestly, Humble's been actually performing really well this whole tournament so far, the last few games, last handful of games. I'm very excited to see what they do here going into game 4, see what kind of strategy they do. We may see them do the same strategy on Olympus before, because I mean, I believe that's the map we're going back to. So do they switch up how they're going to play because of all these teams ahead of them, or do they keep playing the way they have been, especially with Olympus, because they've done so well?
Totally agree. I mean, who knows? I think in the end of the day, the best part about not knowing is not knowing. Okay, when we watch sports, we watch esports, you never know what could happen, and it just turns out to be exciting, thrilling, fun times, always a blast. And you know, for me, I'm happy to see more games, but if they win it all, I'm happy that we got a winner. My job is to organize these as professional esports presentation also, and then from there, that's it. Let's do it, baby. We're about to get started very soon. Time is up. If you are not here, then sorry for you. This is the place to be. This has been a blast to host so far. It's a good Friday too, man. It's my first Friday during these events. We've done a lot of tournaments in the last 6 years, a lot of amazing stuff, but man, it's nothing like doing Apex. It's a different game than what I've done before. I've done a lot of team versus teams. I've done a lot of sports, but I've not done Battle Royale. And it's just insane, the amount of amazing players, amazing teams, the community in general. I've supported these other organizers who are doing great events this weekend, next weekend, and you know, I always show love to them. I'm confident enough to know how great we are, and also to point out other places like His and Hers Live and a variety of places like Dad Gaming, and you name it, they're all out there for you guys to look up and get involved with too. We want you guys to get signed. We want you guys to have fun. We want you guys to be winners, and supporting the community is a part of that. So yeah, just sending love and appreciation for everybody that organizes these events. You know, it's a fun time, and I'm sure you have a blast like I do casting these games with some of these teams that are just insane. And as we talk about insane, we're gonna insanely look at this map to see what is going on with everybody at the moment. My favorite drop spot has to be, for fun, Bonsai Plaza is always a good battle. Even Gardens are just good times. That doesn't mean you're gonna win the game, because you can drop hot in those spots, and usually they're hot and it's gonna cost you, but you want to see that. And right now we're seeing 2 teams dropping Hydro with the 3rd right next door, so that can be the hot zone where we're gonna see the most fun as players as we go forward. We don't know who's gonna make it out of this situation, but man, oh man, it can be wild. Now let's take a quick look to see what is going on here. They're just gonna be looting. As you know, this is the start of the game, and it's usually pretty slow to start off with, but the rotations and systems that you want to see, as you saw right now, the middle of the map is pretty wide open. Nobody's around, everybody's spread out. And speaking of spread out, there's gonna be a couple battles where teams notice each other and they're going at it. And look at this, guys. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, let's take a quick look at the Maniacs actually in a fight. One of their players already going down. This is what the lobby needed. This is what the lobby needed. If they get Minty down, oh my goodness, folks, insane.
And it's none other than Max Sense taking down one of the players of Minty. Now Minty's faced with 2 players down. Are they gonna be able to just get their Valk out and leave to dive? Or are they gonna, I mean, he's gonna have to play smart. He's really gonna have to, either he's gonna have to leave his team completely and just go solo, or he's gonna have to go wrap around and heal up, and hopefully that they chase away from the banners for him to go back for his teammates.
Yeah, I think Max knows that what team they're playing against. They saw them in the lobby for the past 3 hours. They know what's going on right now. They know they're taking out one of the possible winners. They're not going to let them win this. And Max wants to get in on the fight. And they are actually in 6th place with 31 points, all right? So eliminating that one player alone gives them 5 points, get them up there to 50, close enough. And man, that was good start for them. And man, it's pretty sad. You don't want to root against a team like Minty Maniacs. And as we see that, we see another team pushing in. And man, it's going down right now.
It's KWR that they're fighting here at Gardens, but look who's coming back. Minty's Spaghetti Lord wrapping back around, but nope. Max says, hey, we see you, we're camping your team's banners, we know who you are, you're not gonna get it.
You're not getting away, buddy. And they're chasing them down now, and this is the right thing to do for the lobby. They're to be in the MVPs of this game specifically, because you do not, I repeat, you do not want Minty to revive their players and stay alive. And so far, they're doing a good job. They picked up both the banners, but they are getting hit, and they go down.
Minty's
Ladies
out
and
of the game.
gentlemen, starting to match off. Talk about MVP status right now. We got to give Max Sense already giving us a show by taking out one of the possible winners of this tournament. And man, oh man, that's a start for us. And speaking of possible winners, let's move over to the only team in this game that still has a chance to win it all. We just seen the Maniacs get eliminated, and now they don't have a chance to win it all anymore. But we do have UKS right here looking pretty with their rotation right now, doing very well. And that's what you want to see from them. You want them to be comfortable and take their time, heal up, get the right gear, be ready for the fight later. It's not about the moment. You want to be smart and be safe and win this battle. So we're going to see what happens. And again, ladies and gentlemen, quick little visual error. There we go. Fixed. And now game 4, every point is 4 points. They're sitting pretty right now. UK doesn't have to do anything. They won this. All they got to do is win this game. They can get no kills and just let someone die to the ring and literally win the tournament because they have match point. The only team that has match point right now is UKSA. That's critical to remember and understand how that works. And right next to them is Daddio, looking really comfy. Next door, they're probably going to get into a fight with the UK. UK has no shields just yet. And Daddio sitting comfortable with some purple and blue. So could get into a fight right here. We don't know if it's going to happen. Again, I don't even think Daddio knows that UK's next door. They're watching them replicate a couple of items, and they're not picking a fight. So very quiet for the moment. But man, good stuff overall by UK to stay alive. That's what you want to see overall. And we're going to take a quick spin to see where the rest of these teams are as they move forward. And it looks like Raven is getting rocked right now. 7 Sins trying to do their job and get into this fight right here, taking out 2 players and picking up their own player. And man, they have a good setup here. 7 Sins with 45 points. So right now, if they can eliminate this team, they will make 50 and have a chance, if game 5 is necessary, to win it all. And here it is. Nope. Bamboozled.
Yeah, even you fell for it, Mac, and you're not even playing the game.
Exactly. That Mirage is a rare sighting, especially in tournaments, and that's cool that somebody decided to have them, but I don't know how that's going to work out for them. 7 Sins sitting comfortable, pretty, with a bunch of amazing plays throughout this tournament, and now they actually have Ravens player down, and they possibly can capitalize here. Now everybody in the lobby wants to take out the one and only UK SA, and we're gonna go back to them in a minute. If ever they get into some action, I'll be gladly to bring it back so you can see. But as of right now, Raven is trying to survive the situation. He's getting chased, and it's not too good for him. But 7 Sins doesn't see that he repulsed up, and they're just holding back, taking their time. And man, here it is right here. 7 Sins knows where they went, and they're going to try to figure out this scenario as they go forward. Raven just doing the right thing, getting out of there. Sometimes you can't revive your teammate. If you want to win it all, you want them. But giving up the fight can be your winning moment. I've won games by myself in ranked against players who had a full team, and I finished them off after they had a third-party fight. And you know, winning the full games like that once in a while, not all the time, but it's possible. And as we say that, Humble right outside getting hit by Team Raven, doing a good job suppressing them. And Team Humble, a sleeper team with 34 points, they're 5th place overall, getting a couple kills, placing high will get them right up in the ranks, and it's going down. So far so good. A lot of these teams are doing well when it comes to points. As long as they get to 50 on this game, they have a chance to win. The only issue is we have, oh my goodness, I can't believe my eyes. I can't believe my eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, I could be wrong here, but I do believe Team UK is officially eliminated, and we are going to game 5.
Yes, game 5 is already set. UK just got eliminated.
Oh my goodness, it was so fast. I couldn't even keep my eye on it. I have multiple screens up watching different players, and we were watching UK, and they just got eliminated, and we are officially going to game 5. This means all of these teams in this lobby right now want to score 50 points. They want to get there. The teams at the bottom of the rack with 3, 4, 7, 10 points. You can do it. Right now is your chance. You're going to score 4 points per kill. And if you place number 1, you're going to get 12 points for that. Get in there, destroy this lobby, take over, do your job, find something in here that you can do to try to catch back up and win this game. Again, there was already 5 teams with over 30 points. Now they're moving up, and they're going to get to 50 if they can get some kills and place high enough. With only 9 teams left, you have the chance. This is it for everybody in the lobby. My goodness. Raven not looking so good, getting taken down by aim assist. Amos is sitting pretty and comfortable, and these guys are a sleeper team. They have 15 points at the moment. When they wiped out Raven there, they scored a little more, but they were 10th place overall in the leaderboards before this match started. So you're sitting on possibly trouble. We're going to game 5. That's what I like to see. Apologies to Team Maniac and UKSA. As a broadcaster, I just want to see insane games where multiple teams have a chance to win. And man, this lobby said we're not done. We're gonna keep it going. Rad.
Yeah, they really did. As Seven Sins is just pushing and finishing one of the players from Canes that they had knocked down earlier, but now Canes and everyone just kind of hanging out over by Hamlin. You know, it's a nice spot. It's center of zone. So I think they're gonna try and get set up nicely just to kind of sit and wait and hang out for a minute. I do want to talk about how we were talking that UK and Minty are now both out, which are the two teams that were at match point and were qualified to win this game. Now this opens up to Seven Sins, Daddy-O, Humble, Max Sins, Peach, UMP, who are all at the 30 to 45 mark range.
Yep. Not only those
do
teams,
these
I mean,
teams
you're talking
play
about
now?
Seven Sins, Daddy-O, Humble, Max Sins, Peaches, UMP. All of those guys were in the 30s pretty much. So they have all a chance right now to catch back up and take the lead and win this game and be able to get to 50. And then that way they can finish this tournament off and be #1 overall for today and advance to the majors. And trying to stay alive here is looking like Ravens all alone, but he's going to pick a fight right now against Humble. I don't know if you want to go against Humble, man. Sit down, be humble. That's all I got to say.
Rotating away, but he is rotating with into another team, which is UMP.
Oh my
Another
goodness.
one of the top contenders for this game now.
These guys are scary, so you're in trouble big time right now, and there's not much you can do here other than try to get away and hope you can make it somehow, and hope you don't go through too much damage there. And UMP just finishing it up, tagging, and they're chasing this guy down. This is like a manhunt right now. This has turned into Hunger Games right now.
And
Last
there it is.
survivor.
Raven off of the board now. UMP getting the credit to go for that kill. Now then they're getting pinched from behind from another team, which happens to be Team Daddy-O, which is also another top contender for this game. And there's a knock for you on UMP's side from Team Daddy-O, and they trade another. Now it's anybody's fight. It's a pretty even matchup. Both teams.
It's a 1-on-1 right now.
Field.
Well, it's a 2-on-1 actually.
It's a 2-on-1 scenario. UMP's really got to play smart. Daddy-O's really has a tough situation, you know, because UMP can just go and push this if they really feel, but they don't seem to be going to. He's going to get these reses off, and they're going to do a full reset and heal for this next fight, but they do get scanned. So now this may change as UMP starts pushing down the hill. Knocks another as another res comes up. Both other teams, another knock. The Valkyrie's still weak from you for Team Daddy-O as UMP pushes in.
Great stuff right there. Oh my goodness. 12 points with that wipe right there. And never mind the rest of the other kills they might have had. And their placement also 12 points on top of it. So it's just point after point after point after point. UMP was sitting on 30. And now I'm 100% certain they have a lot more than that with Team Humble right next door. And man, Team Humble smells blood. They want that third party fight. They are scanning and trying to gear up also at the same time. So Team Humble coming in, and you know this team had 34 points before this match started. So they also are in the fight. This tournament is getting very real, man. You're going to get me hyped. You're going to get my blood flowing. I'm trying to play right now. Put me on a controller, man. Get me in there right now. Because I can do some work on this type of scenarios. I know where, when, and how to push third parties. I know exactly where to rotate on these maps. And man, it's exciting just to watch, to see who has what it takes. UMP trying to suppress Humble, but Humble's got what they needed. They picked up a shield, and then they're leaving. And that's pretty slick. And actually, wait a minute. One of the players jumped off. Interesting. Oh no, he's just double checking. And I like what I'm seeing by Team Humble. Once again, it's just smart. There's only 6 teams. Why push something that you don't need right now? It's not necessary. Let's win this whole thing, get all the points. let's make sure we're here for the long haul. They're repositioning into the ring on the backside, on the high ground, and we'll see how this works out for them, because what happens that people don't understand is, sure, you're in the ring, but are you in the right position for the next ring as it goes? And it's hard to predict all the time. It's still predictable, but not as much as it used to be. And this right here might work on their favor, because if the ring stays where they are, then they're in a good position to stay in control for the next round. And they are getting pushed and hit by another team, so this is the scary part. They got 7 Sins right above them, looking to try to take them out slowly here. And man, oh man, they positioning wasn't as good as I thought. As you can see, the ring is on the other side. So that's terrible. And the 7 Sins are coming in. They want the blood. They want the smoke. They are 3rd overall, 45 points. They have enough. They already have enough to make it into the 50 eligible, so you can win this game. So that's going to be insane in a minute when you see the action start taking off. And here it is right here. 7 Sins pushing the pace.
Yeah, 7 Sins right here pushing the backside of Humble, who is trying to get down to the low ground to try and get some coverage from all these teams, but one of them is going to get knocked, and that would be Swifty, their Gibby. So there goes Humble's defense. Now you have to really play smart. You have to go based off of your Bloodhound scans. Octane's got to use his stims wisely and throw a jump pad down for their rotations to either get away, but that leaves you a sitting duck in the air for 7 Sins just to shoot at you. And
not
now,
just 7 Sins, because you have aim assist also coming in here, smelling the blood and looking for the action, and they want to push this pace also. You got 2 teams all trying to be aggressive. Aim assist actually has very good high ground in right next to the labs, doing really good over here with all their players, and still on top of that scenario. Of course, we got a rat DS. Let's take a second. There's 6 teams in here. Let's take a look while everybody regroups and repositions himself. 7 Sins in the building. We have Humbled with 2 players left. Aim assist with all 3 players solid, and UMP with all 3 players still sitting lovely. Kings with 2 players. Okay, and then when we talk about rotation, this is the ring right here where everything matters. This is going to be the grand finale on how this all plays out. We're going to see who has what it takes. We're going to take a quick overlook before we get into the official action here. And man, oh man, it's going to get dangerous for a lot of these teams. I love the fights that we're going to see in labs. I said, let's get in arenas in labs. That would be a fun time to watch all of that type of action. And right now, it's getting crazy.
Yeah, as this zone closes in, you have teams looking around. They're all inside of Hammond Labs together. They're bound to come and fight each other at a point, as Humble is just trying to take pop shots over Amos the Gods, as well as 7 Sins, from what it looks like, is in there as well.
Yeah, exactly. So we're looking at aim assist trying to get into labs and push back, and they're not alone. There's multiple teams in this area. 7 Sins are going down right now, and man, not looking good for aim assist at the moment in this corner pocket where they can get pushed real hard. But good stuff right here by aim assist, taking control of the scenario, and they still very much in charge of this whole fight here, because they can go inside or on the roof of labs. You don't have to go inside labs. You can always take the roof and just reposition yourself and regroup as they shield swap and get prepared for this final push from all the teams, trying to find where they need to go and what they need to do. Again, the map's going to close one more time, and it's going to get crazy in labs in a second. So who knows how this plays out. A lot of ratting players here, but we have UMP sitting comfortable, understanding that they don't have to get into the drama. But as I say that, they go ahead and use the pad to get in on top, and this is a good position because you don't want to be in the fight if you don't have to be.
And it's aim assist on top of the building with UMP. Aim assist God's Wraith has just gone down, and this Bangalore is trying to get this res off, but this zone does hurt a lot if you get caught out in it. So now it's Humble on the bottom ground, UMP on the top ground. A Valkyrie ult coming down, finishing off And
Seven Sins is still alive, one player, but they're just trying to hope for the best in this scenario. And again, they're not alone. There's teams here with only one player each, and it could get pretty crazy with 5 teams left. Kings have 2 players. They're in the labs. We're looking at Seven Sins with only 1 player in the labs. And then we have, and wait a minute, is this guy about to sneak a revive inside of labs right now? Oh my goodness, folks, if that happens somehow, that would be insane. Seven Sins with a sleeper set up there as they go.
land through that.
There's an opening in the labs.
He got it through the exhaust at the top of Hammond.
Exactly. So right now this is a very clutch situation. There's a lot of death boxes in the area. If they can drop inside of labs with him, then they will be in great position to win this game. And they are 3rd place overall right now. And it doesn't matter. All that matters is that they get to 50, and they're right there to get to 50. And all these teams that are in this lobby have a chance, besides these Kings right here, to get to 50. And man, oh man, they actually fell on the outside. Seven Sins, one of their players, not looking good for them, but they do have their 2nd player here, so it's a good thing because this is helpful.
The 2nd player that we were talking about is this Gibby. It's a very good defensive character, especially with being inside Hammond. That bubble comes in handy when you need to throw nades, when you have to isolate teams in order for fights and just take the easy bubble fights.
Right.
Well, I say easy.
Speaking of bubble fights, right now there's a bubble up right now with Humble getting suppressed at this moment, while we're going to see them push in a second. They want to get aggressive here. They'll have no other choice because they're pinned down in this corner. They dropped the pad, and they're most likely going to take this fight in a second. And they're fighting off Teams Kings, trying to survive the situation. UMP doing a good job trying to keep themselves in control. This is one of the top teams in here with 30 points before this match, and right now they can get themselves up and do a good job.
It is anybody's game between these last 3 teams. UMP, Kings is still alive. Sins still has a chance if everyone kind of targets UMP, and there's one down as the Octane on UMP. The Gibby going down, the Gibby bubble going down from Seven Sins.
UMP sitting strong though. They have 2 players still, and you're looking at Seven Sins also have 2 players, but they have a blue shield, and this is all about endgame right now with the last 2 teams. Now the question is, who's gonna survive? The issue is one is on the roof and one is inside. This happens every once in a while. Doesn't happen very often. There's nowhere to go, and you just have to heal up as the ring closes. And this is a crazy ending when it comes to battle royale. This doesn't happen often, but it does happen every once in a while. And right now they're gonna try to heal up as the ring closes so that they can get their heal off on time. And it's all about timing for the heal.
There's also the question, what if which team has the heat shield, if any do? It's all gonna come down to it. Teams get knocked, but UMP's gonna take it off the heal off.
Oh my god, I don't know if I'm excited for that win, but unbelievable match when it comes to stopping the 2 teams that were eligible to win it all and shutting them down and pretty much giving us another game. So it was game 4. We're gonna see a game 5, and there will be more teams eligible to win. I can guarantee at least 2 more from my numbers in my mind. We'll have the scores in a minute for you guys once we get all that prepared. But unreal, shout out to UMP for surviving. This is the weird win. This is the first win we've ever seen from the ring. It was a funny heal off that we got, but hey, something is better than nothing. But what they did do early on in the game, they eliminated Minty Maniacs, who could have won it all. They eliminated UKSA, who could have won it all. They pretty much gave the lobby a chance to come back and try and win this game. Once we see the final scores and we see who has what it takes, right here, you know, last round 4 points per kill. That's a lot of points. And this next one is going to be 5 points per kills. So you're talking about top tier aspects that's going to take us over and we're gonna see some good stuff. And speaking of good stuff, we're gonna invite you as we show you our schedule. Next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we will have events throughout the week. It's gonna be a good time, just like today. And then we'll continue for the rest of the summer, bringing you this as we create champions to get into the majors. And we'll talk about the majors again, so you guys can know exactly what we have going on. But feel free, as you see the schedule, to go out to our Discord, check the schedule, see which event you and your team can jump on board with. Have them go right ahead and sign up for that event. Then you'll be right here on the day of the event competing with all of these amazing teams. And they did a really good job overall, showing us what it is all about. And it's been a good time so far to see everybody compete and to go forward. We're gonna break down very quickly the format to break it all down. So as you saw, there were 2 teams that reached 50. That was the one chance those 2 teams had to win it all. Now they have to compete again in another game to try to win it all. If they don't win it all, other teams can step up. We're going to look at the scores in a little bit once it's all updated, but I'm guaranteeing 5 or more teams well over 50 points. That way they're eligible to win. How do they get the points? Placement points. As you see here, first place is 12. For kills, they escalate and multiply. Round 1 is 1 point. Second round is 2 points. Third round is 3. And we are currently in the 5th round. And guess what that means? Every elimination you do is 5 points for you. So you're talking about crazy amount of points you can get if you're not at 50. But the teams that are eligible will end up having a chance to win it all. And that is going to be insane. And I'm going to give it over to... What was that?
Excuse me, Mag. I have the scores, and I love always for them to go to round 5 because there's so many teams now. If you look at the scoreboard,
Right.
it's going to be
Let's
amazing.
take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, wow.
Oh my.
8 teams are currently eligible to win it all. 8 teams, I repeat. 8 teams. Team UMP, who just won that last game. UKSA, who already had enough. 7 Sins, Minty Maniacs, Max Sins, Aim Assist Gods, Daddy-O, Humble. All the teams that are eligible to win this next game. That means the rest of the players are trying to shut them down. The rest of the players want to stop them from even getting in. And I'm going to leave it over to Envy and Rad to talk about this for a second.
Yeah, as we're looking at this leaderboard, UMP coming in the big with that win. As many kills as they had a total of 11 kills at 4 points each, which is 44 points plus the other 12 for the win, giving them a 56 point game to push them over UK, taking that #1 spot at 94 points. However, they do still have to win a game to take it all. But so do all these other teams like UKSA with 82 points, 7 Sins with 70 points, Minty Maniacs at 67 points, Max Sense and 64 points, Aim Assist Gods have 63 points, Daddy-O sitting at 62 points, and Humble sitting at 55. It's incredible, and those top 8 teams is anybody's taking for this game, since all 8 of those teams are already at that match point qualification line. Any of those teams take the W, it's over. That's done. We don't see game 6. Now, how game 5 plays out all depends on how every team plays now. Now you have to start thinking, do you play more carefully? Do you rat out? You don't need the points. You just gotta play placements and hope for to be part of one of the last teams and hope that none of the other 8 teams that are qualified are in the final zones with you. So, how do you go about that as a player? To think about it is just, there's so many things to think about and cover. And I'm personally excited for Game 5 as
Yes, sir.
for all these teams. and
It's crazy.
everything.
It's crazy. This is the best format in all of Battle Royales. If you remember, anybody that watches esports ever, basically, normally, all of these tournaments will have a highest score. And what would happen is one team will score 200 plus extra points ahead of everybody. And the tournaments would be boring because people will be so high up, and it pretty much made it stale to watch because the last couple games you didn't have to watch. You knew who was going to win no matter what. It was pretty much over. And then we changed the rules, Respawn specifically changed the rules, giving us match point where you have to be a winner to win. You can't just score a lot of points. So it's pretty wild, pretty insane, and extra special to say the least. And these comebacks that you see and these amazing plays and these big scores are part of the fun. Now, normally we don't have multipliers, but since this is the community version, we wanted the multipliers to make it exciting and make the events shorter. Those are key components to what we were trying to offer here for everybody. That's overall the system and the setup on how we play this out. Now we're waiting for the teams to get their names in there. They're all in the lobby mostly. We're gonna get their names in. We're gonna get this started very shortly. We're super excited, and we thank you guys for tuning in and hanging with us. Regardless if you're winning or not, understand the fact that you're playing also because we are keeping track of your scores, and we have all this on documented for teams. Possibly, maybe you never win a tournament, and we have some high scores, some great performances, and we'll invite you to be a part of our majors. So winners are automatically entered, but we do have some pro teams and players who we want to invite in the future. So look at it as I'm here to perform my best and be the best me I can possibly be as we go forward. Now, I don't know if there's a team hey on this game, but it looks like that's something we got to work on. And yeah, we're about to get started very soon. Just wanted to take a note to give you guys that information. Let me do my little segue really quickly to thank you guys so much for being a part of the Core Battle League's Apex Legends tournament series. What I mean by tournament series, to break it down for those that don't understand, tournament series is a place where it's a different segments to the events, right? So you're gonna have your qualifiers, which is what we're doing here. These are community based. Everybody's welcome to be a part of it. Then we get into the majors, only the top teams, invite only, the best of the best. And then we move on to what we love, which is the one and only championships, right? And that's the format, that's the system. We're gonna have that for the next couple months. It's gonna be a blast. We're gonna keep doing these events. It's really on you guys. The more you show interest, the more events we'll do, and we'll keep going from there. So yes, so that's it. And I think we're ready to go, and we are locked in. Thank you guys for tuning in and rocking with us. It is going down. Good luck to all the teams as we go forward. It's still early on. We have a lot of teams in here. Like I said, 8 teams eligible to win. And I'm going to give that a look so you guys can see it right before the match starts here. You're looking at a lot of teams, okay? And they're probably going to be dying off a screen, and we'll call it out as one of the teams that were eligible to go to compete. We'll call that out and give you guys the visual on it so you can see what's going down. We want to be able to pay attention to them, but they're not the only thing that matters. These teams who are not at 50 can become MVPs and destroy them and take them out and come back and win this all. There's chances for everybody here. This is not over. We saw that last game. 2 teams were eligible, and they didn't make it past halfway through the match. And now we're on the boat with 8 teams eligible. So it's interesting. We'll see what happens here as we go forward. Should be a fun time when it comes to this match right now. Game 5s are always insane. I don't want to get too hype and too crazy, but this is what I built this for and designed this setup this way specifically just for this format to work the way I wanted it to when it comes to having more teams eligible and wild finishes pretty much.
Yeah, and Meg, you may not be hyped, but for Game 5, loading in the Kings Canyon as we are dropping with a panoramic view of this from the sky. It's Game 5 here on Kings Canyon. Who will take it all? Will it be UMP? Will it be one of the other 7 teams that are ready to take these games for the win to end it all? Or do we go into a Game 6 if enough teams take out all of the top 8 contenders? These are big things you gotta think about, but we're here, we're in it. It's Kings Canyon for Game 5.
Yes, sir. Kings Canyon looking really good, and my man's hype. But I like. But we're gonna slow it down. We're gonna slow it down and let these teams drop first. See where they going. See what they're doing. And we're really interested. We want to know. We want to see some action. Don't get it twisted. But right now, everybody's dropping pretty safe. They're holding down their positions. It doesn't even look like anybody dropped right on each other. So nothing contested in these areas, which is pretty wild to think about so far. But I love it. I'll take it. It's a good start for everybody to be able to prep for the fight when the time comes. So that's what you want to see. And speaking of want to see, we're gonna give ourselves a view of this map. As you can see, it's rotating to the right, the side where the east is, and some teams are pretty comfortable there and they're going to be able to hold that position down. Now when you're in the ring like this and you have it for yourself, you do not, I repeat, you do not want to waste time and just be in one area. If you can stretch out a little bit, gear up and come back, you'll be good. Or at least start picking shots off to get that shield up. Again, I don't have to go look for shields, I can earn it. So it's a really good, only skilled players do that very often compared to average players who don't take the time. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna upgrade this a little bit. I'm gonna pick some shots off on these people. I don't care if I don't kill them. I'm doing some damage, I'm getting my shield up, and I'm good to go. And speaking of getting my shield up, let's take a quick look at some of these guys who are sleepers. All right, Team Humble with only 55, they barely made it and barely made it to qualify, but they did make it, and now they have a chance to win it all with this setup here. And we're gonna be seeing who does have what it takes with teams like this that know that they have a chance to win, and what type of gameplay are they gonna do. And that's what's important, because most of the time a lot of teams will play it safe, and then that could cost them, because then they won't be able to get a good loot or shield up or just practice mechanically on their skills, because they're so worried about trying to win and they're not worried about actually competing in the event as far as being on point. So we're gonna see what happens. Again, still pretty early, and these are the moments where a lot of teams are gonna take it easy and take their time and do the right thing. Again, this is the right move.
It is indeed. Everyone's kind of playing it slow now. The majority of the teams, you know, being in that match point, they really do have to play a little bit safer to last a little bit longer. But we do see most of the teams are still up in full numbers and full strength. No one really taking any early fights. Everyone's just kind of hanging out, chilling out, saying, hey, what's up? Exchanging, you know, some sugar from your neighbor every now and then, you know. It's one of those things. You just kind of sit back, relax, and we look forward to seeing how all these teams rotate, how all these teams, you know, set up shield-wise. You know, do you just go around looting, hoping to find better shields. You use the crafting materials and the crafters to,
Definitely.
get your armor closer from that damage point to get that upgrade for your next fight.
Yep.
It's
That's another
really-
good strategy there. The crafting, something that is rare and new for Battle Royale in general, just to boost you a little higher in different ways, whether it's getting a clip or boosting your shield. There's a lot of different things you can get inside of it that make it really good overall. So that's the type of stuff you want to see. As we took a look at Team Humble, we're going to spread out and take a look a little further at Aim Assist. They just got into some heated trouble, but they're trying to escape the situation with a Pathfinder. To me, one of the best mobile still to this day, even though he's the original, one of the best of the best in the world, and they're getting chased down right now. And speaking about getting chased, we're gonna actually take a look at Max Sense, as they are also on the chase right this very minute. And man, oh man, it is going down for multiple teams, and we're gonna keep rotating back around. As you see right now, Team Peach literally in the middle of it, trying to heal up and shield up and get things right as they go forward, doing a good job to at least keep themselves alive. But they're going to be having a big fight right now because multiple teams are in that vicinity. So we'll see what happens with them. Again, Peach right under with 40 points. They're almost at the eligibility point. It's not that easy to get in there and to make it, but we'll see what happens. And once again, interesting stuff by them. And look at this as we speak, UMP getting shot at, and they're about to get into it. These other teams that are eligible to win it all, for those are watching, if you're rooting for this team, they have a chance to win it all. They can't go down in this fight. Now in these type of scenarios, you can panic and say, oh my god, I don't want to fight right now, I don't want to lose this. Or you can say, I'm gonna take that fight and get aggressive. A lot of teams who aren't aggressive, what happens is you give the other team the chance to put you in a bad position and pop off a couple shots, and you never want to be that guy.
Excuse me. It looks like Daddy-O just got eliminated.
Oh my goodness, Daddy-O just got eliminated. Speaking of that, Raven got eliminated just now too. So multiple teams in this area. Raven actually didn't get eliminated. They eliminated another team.
They eliminated one of UMP's players, which is Gibby. We talked about how defensive players, and UMP is just kind of holding this high ground over here on Repulsor. Raven knows that they're up there now. I almost guarantee you that if they have studied the rosters of teams enough, they know this is UMP, and they're just trying to force them off of the high ground, force them to fight, to try and just get that elimination. They get them off the map super early.
Yeah, that would be nice for the lobby, and Ravens would be the MVP of this match for doing so like that. I mean, there's 8 people they have to eliminate, but that's one of the 8 that they would have to try to take out, and they're doing a good job suppressing them. I mean, they have their banner down there, so what is happening right now is they're making UMP have a difficult time. With 25 seconds left on that banner, UMP got to make a decision. Hey, we're going to forget about him? Are we going to rotate and get out of this spot because we're getting shot by multiple teams now? Or are we going to go down there and pick up our buddy? And they are going to pick up their buddy. They got Raven to rotate, and they did a good job on this scenario here. Much needed to keep this fight alive for them. They have a chance to win it all. Once again, the only teams that are eligible to win it all are the teams with 50, and we're going to give you guys a chance to just look at the way this is set up when it comes to the stats. You can see the top 8 teams right here on screen are the ones who have a chance to win it all, and UMP picked up their player, but they trying to get in to revive him, but
Raven's going to batch the high ground.
Right, and now they took the position. Oh, they almost did, and they're going to push this team. Actually, they want to make sure that they don't win, and this is the type of MVP you want. When you know there's a team you have to take out, you're going to do everything you can to eliminate them as fast as possible. So they're pushing the pace. They're being MVPs, and look at that. They get they actually, UMP does get their revive there off, and now it's going to be a race to try to chase them down in the swamps. And this is a good tactic here because Raven has the high ground, and it looks like the map will be closing on some of Swamp. So you have to have UMP rotate deeper into the ring so that they can be safe. And they did a good job right here, and they're pretty much right on the borderline of the ring, and that's going to give them a comfortable start to get back into a full team status, still able to win it all. Very dangerous situation for them. We'll see what happens as we go forward. Take a quick look deeper into the scenario as Raven smells blood in the water. They're literally Ravens when it comes to Bloodhound. He's kind of the guy, right? So they're gonna push this, keep scanning and trying to get in on the fight. They know that they see the person is getting thicker and thicker in the scenario. We'll see what happens. And for me,
See a fight here, I think, between UMP and Raven, as they are both now all on the low ground. It's fair fight territory here in Swamps. UMP and Raven taking high ground on the roof that UMP is in. So now they're gonna have to force them to look up and watch doors as well.
yeah,
How-
being in a situation like this, talking about that, sorry to cut you. Caustic can throw gas at the doors, so basically they can't get out if he throws them properly, and it's gonna keep the team stuck in there. Now if they try to open the door, the gas will pop open. Now they're gonna be breathing it in if they're close to the doors, and then you can jump in at any time you want also. So Caustic, while he is defensive, he can be used in that way to trap somebody inside of an area. So we'll see what happens here. Again, it looks like UMP is just going to hold this ground. They are in the ring. They don't have much to worry about when it comes to the ring, but the fight is getting crazy over here, as you can see, popping off in small areas. And right now Raven's thinking about jumping in. Once they jump in here, it's all madness. We're going to see full attack happen very shortly from some of these players. And if I was Caustic, I would drop my ultimate. I would drop everything in there right now, right away. Just get in and throw it and get busy as they go forward. And it looks like UMP's getting out of there. Smart move here with that rotation. This is why Octane is so good, guys. The rotations for him, he gives you a lot of distance pretty fast, and if a team doesn't have one, they will have a hard time catching up quickly. And a smart move here. As the ring closes, they're going to get hit a little bit, but it's literally the second round, so it doesn't hurt. And it's just smart rotation by UMP. Remember, they're a team that can win it all, and they are not alone. And it looks like Raven wants to get in there on the action. And man, oh man, it is insane. And right now, speaking of insane, there's still a lot of teams on the board. Daddy-O is eliminated, so they can't win it all anymore. And it looks like Aim Assist, who could win it all, only is down to one player. Just giving you guys an update on rosters. Other than that, you still have a lot of teams with the chance to win it all. So this one fight here isn't everything that's happening everywhere. Team Humble's next door, ready to fight them if they have to. And we're going to look and rotate throughout the map so we can get a view on seeing what's going on. And look at this. UK taking out Team King. Can they do it? It looks like UK's hurt, but they have a Revenant all. Oh my goodness. They're going for this. Can they do it? One last player alive. Looks like UK's about to wipe out Team Kings.
Yeah, and we talked about how big that Revenant ult is when it comes to fights like that. It's all about pushing when you're in that, but UK is getting intervened.
Oh my goodness. Did we just see what we just saw? Team
UK
Max
is-
Sense getting UK out of the fight, officially shutting them down. What this does, it gives them the chance now. They eliminated one of the possible winners, the eligible winners. They eliminated UK from the factor, and now Team Max does have a chance to make a move and try to win this all. Great stuff by them. Now, they kind of left a player alive, so we'll see what happens with them in a minute. And they are actually about to get hit by surprise by another team, so we'll see what happens in this scenario. They did a good job there, eliminating one of the actual players of the
But
game.
now we do have a little bit of action here in the labs while Minty is coming out. You got 7 Sins still inside the labs. So now it's all about how they play it now. Seven Sins is just gonna hold the labs. It looks like Minty's gonna get the free rotation to the high ground, but here comes Max Sense with the Valkyrie. Oh, or no, they just did the balloon. So they just flew in on Team Minty, who is another top contender for this. And now we're gonna have a big fight. Who's gonna win this here?
Looking like Team Minty's about to go down right now. Great stuff overall by Team Max, just wiping the floor here with Team Minty and doing a good job. And we're gonna spin around and see the last player, Revenant. He just wants to just hold back and hide out for a while. Oh, there it is. They found him in the rat hole.
Minty is off the board now.
Minty is off the board, folks. We literally only have a few teams. We went from 8, and now we got Team Humble, Team 7 Cents,
UMP and Max Sense.
UMP, Aim Assist, all with a chance to win it all. That's still a lot of players on the board, a lot of teams on the board. Only one true winner can be declared, but it doesn't look like Aim Assist is going to do it. They only have one player. It's looking like UMP sitting strong. I'm just going to scroll through these guys. Max Sense is looking really good, like they have the chance to win it all. 7 Sins, top tier with all purple shields, looking really lovely. You gotta love it.
Yeah, and Seven Sins really playing very cautiously, very carefully. As an Octane jump pads through, it's the Octane from Kings running out and trying to hit the rift as he does. And Seven Sins might chase him. Doesn't look like it. They're gonna sit nice and comfortable inside of labs. They feel very comfortable there, and honestly, that might just be their best move, as they know that there's still a handful of teams that can still take this from them.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you don't want to get too crazy in this scenario with only 8 teams left. There's still 4 teams on the board with a chance to win it. Make it 5 teams. Apologies. There's still 5 teams on the lobby that could win it all. And the map is getting smaller, and we're going to see how this all works out for everybody. It's a little bit mayhem here at the finale, and who knows how this plays out with everybody. I think the smartest move for this scenario and anybody in this lobby is to hold down the fort and just wait it out and pick the last fight. When you see there's 2 teams battling, you want to get in on it and finish it off. So far so good by these teams who know that they have the chance. You can see UMP picking off some shots, trying to get it right and stay in a good position. They're out of rotation though. They need to get back into the circle. They got to figure that out right now and try to find their way around as they suppress another team, Aim Assist, but it's not good enough. Max Sense taking out players left and right. This is really good, and they actually have a good position against UMP. Max Sense can possibly push this right here and eliminate another team who has what it takes. Look at this, good shots from him using the R99, my favorite gun in the game, completely very powerful. And here it is right here. They are doing the work and getting it done, taking out Team Humble slowly but surely, and Team Humble's not going to give up here. They are.
That was Team UMP?
Team UMP, apologies. They took out Team UMP, and Team Humble's right next door. Nobody's seen them, but they were right next door to them. And it looks like Max is on fire as far as just overall team tactics. Their mechanics are great. They're pushing teams, even though, you know, if they lose, they can't win it all here. They're playing for the win. And even as they play for the win, they're still being very, very aggressive. And that's what you want to see from these teams going forward. And you're looking at Team Humble finding a way to get away from that situation that they were in while UMP got taken down. Mad Max sitting comfortable, going over to get in on the action to try to shut it down and put in some work here. I like what I'm seeing. And discount predators are out here trying to make a name for themselves. And I don't know if they have what it takes, but they are using their grenades. And look at this, 3 grenades in a row trying to push up on Team Max, and there's nothing there for them. As you can see, Team Max is sitting comfortable. Team Seven Sins also sitting pretty. Let's see what they're gonna do here with this red ball.
Seven Sins decided to take the Valkyrie ult to get away from Max as they are fighting the discount price and reposition themselves, but now they repositioned over next to Team Humble, who are now they're taking shots at.
Exactly, and this is a good part right here. We want to take an overview of everything that's happening, and as you can see, two teams are about to get aggressive. Speaking of that, you can see right now Team Max about to get into it with Discount Predators. It's looking like Team Max comfortably taking out one of their players, and now
the
they're
Discount Predators are gone, which means the last 3 teams are the only teams that can win.
There's going to be a winner.
This is it. Ladies and gentlemen, the final teams, Team Humble, Seven Sins, and Max Sense, all fighting for that top spot. Max Sense looking at Seven Sins, they know that they're there, and Team Humble's just third party in the fight, which is so smart here on this high ground. It's an even playing field, as all teams are going to come in.
Really great stuff by throwing out his Caustic ultimate right now, and he's going to rotate in and out of the situation. He threw the Caustic and pushed the team back, and now they're going to try to heal up and regroup as they take out one of the two players. It looks like Humble wants to get in on the action. They're moving in, and they're actually going to try to third party this. It's not working out too good. They lost one of their players, but they're going to push back and stay alive in the fight. And right now, Max in the middle of the fight, in the sight of both teams. One team is down bad with Seven Sins with only one player left, but it's looking like Humble understands that Max is maxed out with all 3 players, and they're only here for 2. So we're gonna see incredible action right now to finish this off with only these 3 teams. The grand finale is gonna be a champion right now, right here, automatically.
The Caustic traps going down, shots being taken from
Max
everybody.
versus Humble.
Seven Sins is out. It is Max versus Humble as the final fight. Max pushing up on the Humble.
The pace. Can they get this right here? Great shots here with the vault.
Get it to
There it is. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. Max Sins with the win. Incredible stuff by these guys. They showcase top tier material throughout this match. I could tell they were on fire, and they really gave it to us on that match right there. You gotta love what you saw. And as we speak, we want to go ahead and take a moment to look at this last push as we go forward. Man, incredible stuff. Congratulations to Max Sins. They kept on pushing the pace. They got a lot of kills on this match, and they also were confident. And this is the type of behavior you want to see when you play. Extra confident, pushing forward and getting the job done. They realize, you know, Team Humble, they can't handle us. Let's get in there and finish these guys off. So they wipe out one team. Then we switch on over and we say, okay, there's only one team left. Let's go after them, finish this job, and do what's right. And of course, they had the R301 ripping, and then at the end, they finished off with that vault for the win. Congratulations. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host with the most. It's been an honor to call this game. We thank you guys so much for hanging out. We got a couple of things we're going to talk about shortly. I just want to give a shout out to my co-host, I am B Rad. Rad, if you got your a last plug-in, and thank you so much for being a part of this. It's been an honor and privilege to have you, buddy.
Oh man, last plug-in. I mean, honestly, it's been an honor for you to have me. I'm more than happy to take time to, you know, just volunteer, help out with the things that I can. If anyone has any social media, I mean, Twitter, Twitch, it's all the same. I am B-Rad. Everywhere you can find it.
Sounds good. IMB, thank you so much. We're going to see you again. You did a great job today, by the way, man. Awesome stuff.
Again, thank you for having me. It was a great honor and amazing just to sit and watch these games just unfold into the madness that it was.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Catch you soon, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that right there was I Am B Rad, first time co-host with us, and great job. And man, oh man, we had incredible games overall. A lot of great teams doing a lot of great things. It wasn't just one good team. We had multiple great teams killing it. 8 teams became eligible to win it all. A team scored over 50 points with the chance to win it all. That to me tells you, hey man, don't sleep. We're good too. We almost had it. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful display. And man, we're just going to be right here, right back for you guys on Thursday. Guaranteed. Amazing stuff. Just so you guys know, everybody's welcome to join us. This is for the community. Whether you're on PC or consoles, whether you're in the US, that's where we are located, east side of US, or you're in the other side of the world. We do understand that sometimes you know, people might want to play with only PC or only console, but we want to keep everybody together, united, coming forward. We're gonna get you guys involved. You come over to our Discord and be a part of everything that we have going on right now. Again, it was an incredible match, incredible stuff by everybody on there. Overall, it was just a really good time, and we're going to take a moment before we show you guys the final scores. You're going to take a look at the schedule. So next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we have more events for you. And if you guys want more, feel free to hit me up on Discord and get involved and be a part of this. If you want to participate in our tournament events, you're more than welcome to be a part of it. Everybody is welcome. This isn't specifically for one person, so come on over and join the movement. All right, and that was it for today. We did some incredible stuff, had some amazing games. Overall, great teams. You know, everything about today was special when it comes to the teams we saw. Some of these guys most likely are predators, pros, possible future champions of the world. Who knows what it could be. And hope y'all enjoyed playing in it, those that are players, and for those who are also watching and enjoying the visuals, we gave you guys a show to remember. 3 hours of great esports from Apex Legends at its finest, and I hope y'all enjoyed that, man. We have more all the time. This is something that I've been doing for a long time, and we're gonna keep doing. We're gonna keep bringing you top tier games from top tier teams and experiences for you guys to enjoy. We're gonna keep it pushing. Once again, I give a shout out to the GOAT of the day, always my MVP every single time. I'm literally every single time the one and only See the One You Envy, who happens to be the leaderboard maker, let's just say that. They basically control the scores for us while we do our commentary. So take a quick look, tell me what you like. This is it right here, baby. A little bit of spice. Insane numbers. Some teams did really good overall. This isn't about one team winning it all. The rest of you guys are also being watched, and we're paying attention to the scores. They matter a lot to these events, and they're pretty much the only reason you play, right? You want to know who wins, you want to know how good you did score point wise, and insane stuff by Team Max Sense. Incredible performance by those guys, and this is what you want to see. Top tier gameplay. All right, so now they are officially entering into our next majors when it's coming up. We'll have more to talk about that next month, but for now the community is invited to get involved and try to win and get into these majors and become one of the best of the best. So how do you do that? Just go over to our Discord and talk to us over there about all of that. And if you have questions about things, you know, there's a million questions I get, whether is it all platforms, is there prizes, or what region is this servers hosted in, any little detail, I'm the guy to come to. You head over to the Discord and I'll answer all your questions. Most of them are already on the Discord if you just look, and you'll be able to read through all the information right off the Discord. But 100% incredible stuff by all these teams. Feel free to be a part of this as we go forward. Once again, Max Sense are moving on to the majors, this will give them the chance to compete against the top teams. This is an invite only in the future. For now, everybody's welcome to join these events all month long for free, for you, for the people. So get involved, be a part of it, and enjoy. Everybody else who's been in here, as you can see these stats, these are actually teams who are eligible to be invited to the majors. And that way they have a chance to compete for the championship where the prizes and things will come into play. So that being said, taking a quick second just to thank every single player who participated in today's event, every single team captain who helped manage their team and be able to submit the team information, be able to pass out the codes only to their teammates, to be able to communicate with me that they're on time, that they're checking in, and all of the many different things that a team captain has to do that we require you. We thank you so much. For the viewers, we appreciate you. This is for you guys to have yourself a good time. We got a lot more next week going forward. Man, I can do this every day, you know, but y'all gotta have to start showing me some extra interest and support. Go to our Discord. Let's talk about getting some of this rolling more, because we need to get a bunch of people to advancing into the majors so we can start the majors next month. So that being said, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys again very soon, but you can always hit me up on social media to get involved with what we have here. All right, sending peace and love to everybody. I hope y'all enjoy y'all night. Take care.